Yo, guys, what's up? I'm back, finally back, with episode 10 of Let's Talk Comics. And John's Comics with Kids offered to be my guest this week. Like I was saying before, I can't believe it's been 7, almost 8 months since I've done this show. I've got a much better streaming setup now, thanks to Bubs, Simple Simon, and Old Wolf. So you guys can see more of this nerdy room.
And you've been blowing up here on the YouTube, man. So you've got this like whole new audience ready for more from you.
I just hit 25K a couple days ago.
Amazing, man. Incredible.
It's just getting lucky with YouTube Shorts.
That's where it's at right now.
None of it has really like seemed to translate over into my normal videos.
Sure.
Like I'm like average for my normal comic videos and just some of the random stuff I do is still like 50 to close to 100. And the video game stuff is like not doing real well. But that's just what I like to do on my channel. I like to keep it variety. I don't like to focus on one thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I've been getting a little more into like figures and retro games again. So I've been trying to do some of that.
Nice.
But yeah, just as the subs, I just got lucky with like hitting the algorithm a few times on the shorts.
Makes all the difference.
The goal is to be the largest channel that makes no money.
That's a lofty goal.
Yeah. So man, yeah, it's great to have you on again, man.
Yeah, I think I'm the first return guest, right?
Like 3 hours or something.
we put a dent in it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just jump in, man. The category is orange cover. You have 30 seconds. Go. No.
Yeah. If it's faded red, does that count?
I'll say yes.
Then I'm just gonna go with this one.
That's a great one.
I had it right here, right nearby.
Always prepared.
Steve Whiting approved.
Yeah. Mind if I do a quick chat shout out?
Let's do it.
We had DJ Wise in here. What's going on, man? John popped in the chat.
I dropped my own link too.
Yeah. That's by the way, I did put John's link in the first one in the description. If anybody happens to watch that doesn't know John, which I don't know who don't know John, but just in case, his link is the first one in the description. Bottom tier collector, what's going on, man? Jackson, what's up? What's going on, comics?
Kevin, what's going on, man?
Hillbilly, what's up? But yeah, it's funny. When I originally started this show, I like envisioned just like an interview show with like a list of questions, and I tried that for a couple episodes, and it pretty quickly just became just like casual comic and nerd talk, talking comics, talking movies, TV, video games, just anything kind of like pop culture, collectible.
I love it.
And it just kind of became that instead of an interview show, which I like much better because I'm never good at preparing like lists of questions. I just kind of wing it.
A casual conversation can be just as informative.
Have a list, and I never do. Like, I always just end up winging it.
I get it. There it is, bottom tier. You got it.
Like a podcast.
I think some of those podcasts that are the most entertaining.
I don't know.
Yeah, the ones I find most entertaining are the ones that are just a really interesting conversation with interesting people, and it just kind of goes in the directions where it goes, you know?
Yeah. So I guess to start off with comics, is there anything like currently that you've been collecting? Like your favorite runs?
I just finished this year, a few months back, the first 20 issues of the volume 1 of Avengers. So I finished that run. Now, it's only 20 issues. I don't know where I'll go from there.
Yeah, but I
I
mean
have a
that's like
few.
the first 20. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I have a few in the 20s, a few in the 30s, and then a couple from say 40 through 90. But most of my Avengers collection is later because I started reading it in the late 80s, so it was like issue 200 something somewhere
Oh, yeah.
when Captain Marvel was Monica Rambeau and she was the leader. That was my era of reading Avengers. Uh, just 20 issues. I mean, it's not a very impressive run, but those 20 issues are hard to snag, obviously. And
Yeah.
I owe a huge thank you to guys like Steve Whiting and TJ the Slab Dragon because they helped me sort of crest the some of those keys that I would never have been able to get.
Steve is awesome.
He's
I met one of the
unbelievable.
guys I got to meet at Heroes Con,
That's
and he
awesome.
dropped. I don't know if you see it back there, but he dropped Amazing Spider-Man 361 on me, the first
Yeah,
Carnage.
man. Great book.
Didn't
Yeah,
see that coming. He just dropped it on me like a bomb.
he's like that. He'll
Yeah,
just show up like a gremlin and then drop something on you.
yeah,
So that was like the big run that I was made my goal for 2024 was to try to like get a few issues like issue 3 that I was kind of missing from that run. Last summer is when he gave me the Avengers 1 and I got Avengers 4. That was my big
oh, nice.
push. Where is it? I got a nice date stamped issue of,
Oh, that's
of that.
awesome.
The date stamp is actually just is Christmas Eve, 1963. Right there above Cap. So it's almost like Captain America is your Christmas present. Came one day early.
Well, that's the first Silver Age appearance of Cap, right?
It is indeed. Yes, sir.
That's a great book.
Yeah, I was able to bundle this. I saw a really great seller up in Canada who had this, and he had the first Black Panther in a 5.0, I think.
Yeah.
And I bundled those, and then started a payment plan across
Nice.
several months
Yeah.
to kind of like build it up. But it was my big 2023 purchase was those two books together. And then
Yeah,
this year I needed to get 3 issues. I had to get issue 3, and then issue I think it was 15 and 18, something like that, to finish my 1 through 20.
nice.
Yeah.
So
What about you? Is there any?
Huh?
Sorry. Is there something is there a run you're working on this year?
Not really anything big. Like I managed to complete the just the 2-issue set of 121 and 122 in Amazing Spider-Man
Oh,
at the con.
that is a biggie. And I just happen to have mine right here.
Oh, nice.
It was not. I did not plan that. I just had those because of Gary B, the casual comic guy. I was doing something with him recently,
That's
and
awesome.
I haven't put them away yet. But yeah, when I got back into collecting like 6 years ago, those were those two and Giant Size X-Men were the books I wanted to get right off the bat. Come on, Carlito, get out of here.
Carlito. Yeah, Giant Size X-Men, that's like a mega dream book grail for me. I don't know
Oh,
if I would
heck
get
yeah.
that.
I thankfully when I got back in and I told my wife what I was looking for, my birthday and Father's Day were coming up, and I saw those 2 slabs, which were the same owner, they have like sequential numbers on the slabs. Even they're both 7.5, like they were like perfect pair of ASM 121 122. And then I found somebody with that GSX raw, and my wife's like, okay, there's your birthday present, there's your Father's Day, we're not getting anything else, you're done.
That covers you for like 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing way to kind of like get back into this hobby was those 3
Yeah.
books that meant a ton to me. Like the death of Gwen Stacy and the Green Goblin were like huge for me. And then of course that new team that they launched with Giant Size.
I know Green Goblin, he's always been like my favorite Spider-Man villain, like ever.
Sure.
So I've been trying to get like a lot of Green Goblin stuff, and I found 121 a couple years ago at a local comic shop. It's got like a hole in the cover by Aunt May's head, and there's some
Okay.
hats cut out of the back. But I got it for $40, and the book is
Ooh.
complete on staples. Yeah,
That's
So-
a steal.
And I'd been looking for a 122 forever, but I couldn't find even like a rag copy. I couldn't find for less than 100
Yeah.
on eBay. And I saw that one at Euroscon for 90. And it's got just a small little hole in the front cover, but you can barely see it.
There you
And
go.
Roger Metarog was with me, and he ended up talking the guy all the way down to $50. So I scored 122 for 50.
Go, Roger.
That
That's
was awesome.
amazing.
Like, see, I'm terrible at negotiating, so it really paid off to have the guys with me at the con.
The key is to have cash
Yeah,
and to just get chatty.
yeah,
So I at WonderCon, I was hunting for Avengers 3 for me, and I think it was Justice League of America 5 for Magic Lasso. And he was trying to complete his single digit Justice League issues, and I was trying to complete my single digit Avengers, because we wanted to do this show we've just launched on our channels, discussing those books: Avengers 1, Justice League 1, Avengers 2, Justice League 2, kind of like battle to the finish, which book is a better book. So I wanted to help him complete this, and I could not find a single good Avengers 3, but I found a guy with a JLA 5 in beautiful condition, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull a couple books for me. I'm gonna throw this book in. He started throwing in stuff. He's like, I got a bunch of clear backing boards. You want some of these? He was just throwing stuff in, and I had the cash, and I was just like, hey, can you do this? Try to get a round number out of him. I was just messing. But that's what you got to do, and it makes a huge difference to have that cash if you can bring it. Which that's what I save for my cons, is a little pile of cash.
Oh yeah, I always try to take cash to the cons.
For sure, especially on Sunday, like you were mentioning before we went live. Like I went around Sunday to MegaCon, and I hit up a guy whose booth. He's actually a teacher in California, and he sells comics at cons all the time.
Oh, cool.
And I've met him a few times. I was in his booth just kind of looking at stuff, and he was like, John, and I was like, Elvie, what's up? And he and I, because both of us have two daughters, both of us have, our teachers. It was like kismet, right? And we just chatted it up, and he went to the guys running his booth, and he's like, make his stack, but wait for me to price him out. He was like, he gave me the sweetest deal. He's like, just pay cash, I'll hook you up. And he was throwing books in. He's like, here, this is a blank sketch. You throw that in, throw this in. And I ended up getting from him, where is she? I never thought I would own this book. The one that I got from him was first Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
He had this on his wall, and I was like, this book's come down a bunch. Can we just let's start with that and then add a bunch of raw books and see where we go.
Man, the color looks awesome on that.
Yeah, for a 4.0, I think it looks amazing. And it's a square bound book, so it's like super thick, and you get a ton of spine issues. This has got a spine split on it, which is why I think it's got a 4.0. But I was just like, I never thought I would own that book. I've always liked the character of Carol Danvers, and as binary, or as Ms. Marvel or whatever.
Yeah, I got a few of those. I got I got Miss Marvel 1.
Nice.
And I've got her first appearance as binary. I can't remember that.
Great
I know it's
book.
an X-Men issue. Was it 280 something?
It's 180. Oh shoot, 168. Shoot,
somewhere in there.
Someone in the chat's gonna nail it. Yeah, I've got it in the box right there next to me. I'm not gonna reach out.
I picked that one up a couple of years ago for like $10 or something.
It's a great underrated key. And it's a really great read if people haven't read it. Yeah, 164. Los.
Oh,
what's going on, Carlos?
Oh, and Seeking Superman popped in here. What's going on, man?
Yeah, when we read that for Omni X-Men, I was surprised how well that book held up. I was like, oh, am I going to like this as much as I did when I read it? It's so well drawn. That book is gorgeous. I think it's a Cockrum drawn. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And the Miss Marvel 1 I got is I think it's a 5.0, but I scored it for just like $40.
Man, that's what it costs to slab it, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I want to say it was like 2020 when I picked it up.
I snagged the omnibus of that original Ms. Marvel run, the Claremont written run, where they kind of introduce Rogue and Destiny and Mystique, and then they had to end it quickly and throw Rogue into Avengers. There it is, Avengers Annual 10. I bought an Omni of it because I've never actually read all of it. I've only read a couple of issues here and there, and being that it's a Claremont story, I kind of was like, I need to own this, and I ended up last year. I got the entire run in single issues as well as the trade or the omnibus. And I've yet to actually take the time. It's yet another thing on my summer reading list is getting bad. Like it's a lot. Yeah. I have so many omnis and so many collected editions and hard. It's bad. I don't know how I'm going to get through half of this stuff.
What's up, Canadian Survivalist? Omnibuses is something I've been like hesitant to get into.
It's kind of like statues, right?
yeah. I've been like wanting to get the Death and Return of Superman omnibus. I figure if I'm going to start, that's like the place for me to start.
Yeah, man, that's perfect for you, obviously. But it's a great classic comic series.
So I've been like on the fence about if I want to do it because I'm afraid it's going to lead to more.
It does. And what I don't think people tell you is that you end up purging, at least as me, as a collector, I purged stuff because of buying Omnis.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it in an Omni. I'm going to give away or sell off the singles or the trades or whatever else I had. I have a really awesome guy who works at my LCS. And he and I have a similar taste in comics. And so whenever I get an omnibus, oftentimes I'll either give him the trades or I'll sell them the hidden, for a super cheap price, the trades. Yeah. And I'll purge portions of my collection if I'm like, hey, if I ever want to read it, I got the Omni, I can read it again there, that kind of thing. So that's one of the benefits is, it looks nice on a shelf. You can put them up. You don't need a short box anymore. And if you don't necessarily want the single issues, you can move those on.
Yeah. Yeah, like most of my reading nowadays, I do it with trades.
Sure, that's my favorite way to read.
Of them, like in between the boxes back there.
Hell yeah, it's my preferred way to read. As much as I love omnis and single issues and digital, I'll read a bunch digitally too. I like having those collected. You get a nice volume with say 10 issues of comic story, and you get a ton out of it. I love it.
Don't want to derail your comic talk, but it's adjacent. What do you think of the photos released of Gunn Superman filming?
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. But I'm still not like sure how I feel about them using the Kingdom Come symbol without doing a Kingdom Come storyline.
Sure.
But I like that the suit ended up more bright colors because that first photo looked really like toned down and darker.
Yeah, it might have just been the Photoshop like filter or whatever. Yeah.
But I'm still like, I got to see it to see how it's going to make sense using that symbol.
Sure.
So, like I always associate that with the Kingdom Come storyline. So it just seems like off to me to not have the more classic symbol. But if they can do a good story and make that make sense, I'm all for it.
Here's what sold me on it, and it's a couple of things. Obviously, it's the amazing track record of somebody like James Gunn, who took a property like Guardians of the Galaxy, which I've never read a single issue of Guardians that I liked. I've never read one. Every time I try to read Guardians, I hate it. And he made it into one of my favorite. It is easily the best trilogy in MCU. Like it's just easy. As much as I love Captain America, this beats it. It's so good, those three movies. That alone is encouraging. And then on top of that, his casting of Lois Lane is perfect. If you have not seen the great TV show on Amazon, The Marvelous Ms. Maisel, you will see in seconds why she is the best actress for the role of Lois Lane. She was Lois Lane before they cast her as Lois Lane. She is perfect.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, so I wasn't familiar with who she was.
So the concept behind Ms. Maisel, if you've never seen it, it's written by the husband and wife duo who did Gilmore Girls and several other really great shows. Oh. And what is up, Sheena? You are my creep. And the beauty of Ms. Maisel is it's basically about a stand-up comedian, a female stand-up comedian in the 50s, butting up against the glass ceiling of being a woman and trying to be a comedian when it wasn't really allowed. And then being one that used really explicit language back when comedians would get arrested for certain swear words on stage.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, Lenny Bruce is famous as a comedian for being arrested because his material was too ribald. He was dropping language, and the cops would just wait for him to use certain words.
I guess that was before Richard Pryor.
Oh, way before. This was the 50s, and they would go in. They would go in and slap the cuffs on Lenny Bruce, a real comedian, and haul him away. And Lenny Bruce is a character in Ms. Maisel.
Oh.
And the concept is, Ms. Maisel, she goes through a really messy divorce, and she was always a very funny woman in her personal life, but she basically uses this as an excuse to have a midlife crisis, which is, I'm going to become a comedian. And she's freaking hilarious. And you watch her, tumultuous journey to becoming a celebrity. And the beauty of it is it's done in the sort of 50s slapstick style that feels like Lois Lane, quick, sharp dialogue kind of a thing. It's a great show. Really good.
That should work out good for the movie then.
It's if you watch it knowing that she's Lois Lane, you'll probably even get more joy out of it. I think she's just perfect in this part. And it's also about divorce and how hard it is to be going through something like that. Her husband cheats on her and she's just like a wreck, and it all spills onto her performance on stage.
Yeah.
And it's, it's very much in the vein of those ladies, because there were comedians like this at that time, the Betty Whites of the world, who were trying to break through a barrier that women weren't doing. Women weren't doing late night shows on their own. They weren't doing stand-up comedy. They weren't given the opportunity. As much as we had Gracie Allen, she was always Burns and Allen. She was George Burns's sidekick, in that era.
That's funny. You mentioned Betty White. I remember watching reruns of the Golden Girls and stuff with like my grandma.
Yeah.
And like that's all I thought Betty White ever did. And then like years later, I saw her in a movie. I think it was called Lake Placid with a giant.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, that was way after.
I was like, Betty White said that.
Oh, she's got one or two lines in that are just phenomenal.
I had no idea.
Well, and if you can find black and white photos of her from the 50s, she was gorgeous. Like, she was stunning beauty. And not only that, just hilarious stage presence. She would go on stage and she could deliver a line like nobody. And she had stand-up comedy that was just top tier. What's up, Paul?
What's up, Big O, Chop and Drop? And I saw Kenneth Bird drop in here.
Yep. And those ladies who went on to be the Golden Girls, a lot of them had theater backgrounds, and they were all just really super talented ladies.
Yeah.
And Ms. Maisel is kind of built on a Betty White style. This very Jewish little lady who, when her marriage falls apart, she needs to make ends meet. She decides, like, maybe I can do this comedy thing, and gives it a shot and really rides the roller coaster.
That's awesome.
It's a great show. It's all done now. The entire show is on Amazon. You can watch it beginning to end. I think it's like 5 seasons. And if you liked Gilmore Girls, and I grew up, I just say grew up. I watched the Gilmore Girls with my wife when it was first on, and now we've watched it with the girls. We love the patter of that dialogue, the way those writers, Amy Palladino and her husband, really great writers.
I'll have to check that out. Look up some clips and see if I can find something on YouTube.
I'm sure Amazon's got the trailer you can watch for Marvel. It's called The Marvelous Ms. Maisel. And it's really just about...
Keep that in mind to check it out.
Yeah, it's really just about like the New York club comedy scene of the 50s and what that might have been like. America's Queen is a fact. Yes, indeed. And Lake Placid is a funny movie if you haven't seen it. It's about a giant alligator in a lake in the Great Lakes area of New York. It's ridiculous and hilarious and a very funny monster movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't remember much about it now except Betty White just being in it and like dropping
Yeah.
F-bombs.
She's the little old lady who knows there's a gator in the lake and she's just
Yeah.
feeding it because she cares about the gator. Doesn't care that it's eating the local tourists.
Glitter
Hey,
and duct tape, what's up?
Crystal, what's going on? It's all right, Carlito. It's not for everybody. I'm not trying to sell anybody on it if they're not interested. But I know my wife and I thought it was hilarious.
Johnny boy, what's going on?
Oh, you're not sold on the actress? Oh, then you're batshit crazy. Sorry, not to curse on this show. You're crazy. Like she is the perfect casting. If I could go back and put her in the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, I would do this in a split second. She will beat Margot Kidder hands down. She would crush Margot Kidder. And I love that movie. It's my favorite superhero movie. I would replace Margot Kidder in a heartbeat. That's me. Yeah, she loved that she's walking the cattle up to the lake's edge and feeding them. It's so good. It's so hilarious. Underrated movie. And it's by the same guy, I think, that wrote and directed Pitch Black with Vin Diesel, which is a great sci-fi action movie.
Oh, man.
I think his name is David Twohy, spelled Twohy. I like Margot Kidder. I don't love Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder seems half the time like she's on crack. Like she just seems like she's been doing drugs. She gets like super skinny and kind of spaced out with the like dark circles under her eyes. Yeah. She does have that fire, but she seems just a little like off. She just seems unstable. That's just my hot take. You'll get more.
She did seem a little unstable when she jumped out the window to try to prove Clark was Superman.
Yep, she jumped into the Niagara Falls to try to. She's not all there. I love though when she realizes she made the mistake of trying to put her own life in jeopardy. She should have put his life in jeopardy. Yeah. She shoots him.
Yeah.
It's Superman 2. She just like, I was stupid. Why did I risk my life? I'm just going to shoot you. I believe you're Superman. I'm just going to shoot you. That solves
It'd be an adventure having a girlfriend like that.
Oh my God.
Have to be walking around in a bulletproof vest.
But I mean, that's Lois. Like Lois takes a story all the way to the end of the line.
Yeah.
You know, what was the writer who did a Lois Lane solo series not too long, like a couple of years ago? It was great. Like it was just her tenacity. Like I'm not going to give up on this story. Like I'm going to piss everybody off. I don't care. That's my goal. That's my job.
Yeah.
The story matters more, period. You know? I'd love to see a storyline in comics where Lois gets like her own, Edward R. Murrow weekly news show. And we get to see her basically being the center of attention where like villains are like targeting her because she's cracking all the stories and breaking the news on her nightly show.
That would be a good series.
I would be down. Did you see that? There's a great meme. One of my favorite DC memes says they wanted to see a show or a comic series all about assassins who are trying to kill Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Not because he's Superman, but because he's a really great reporter, and they can't understand why they keep failing to kill him. Because he's Superman, they don't realize that they can't just shoot him or drop a piano on him. That they keep failing because they're trying to kill an intrepid reporter. They're not realizing that it's Superman. I would think that you could combine these two plots, this two like Lois and Clark Kent as great reporters and the trouble that they get into. I would totally read that comic.
That would be a great comic or even like an animated series or something.
Oh my God. Yes. Sign me up. You're more into Vicky Vale? Why is Carlito? Lois is here, and Vicky Vale does not appear on my screen. That's just what I'm saying right now. That's how low Vicky is. Selena Kyle, I will give you because we all know. Where is she? She's in here somewhere. There she is. We all know. Whoop, there. Yeah, that's right. I posted this on my Instagram.
Oh, nice.
We all know Selena Kyle is top tier. Vicky Vale? Vicky Vale is barely a footnote in the Batman universe.
Have they ever put her in the comics? Like the only place
They
I ever remember seeing Vicky Vale was like in the '89 Batman movie.
correct. They put her in the comics, but like nobody cared. That's the truth. So there you go. A flirty friend stage of Lois and Superman. That would be interesting bottom tier. I agree.
Yeah. Of course, I think that was pretty much the first 4 seasons of the Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher show.
Great point. Yeah, they did draw that. If you really want it drawn out, yeah, you
could.
could.
A lot.
And she's a better Lois Lane than Kidder for me.
Yeah, I had a huge crush on Terry Hatcher in the '90s. Watching that show.
Who didn't? Yeah, and everybody wanted to be Dean Cain, and everybody wanted to kiss Terry Hatcher. It was all in on that.
I've actually got a comic that with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher's signature on it up on my wall there.
What?
It was it was an AOK from Comic Food.
How have I not seen this?
Years ago, yeah.
What?
It came in a frame and everything.
Dude, that is badass.
Yeah.
I've never shown my daughters that show. Maybe I need to go and show them that.
What's up,
they got into Smallville, and they started that too young, I think, and it scared the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we stopped
episodes on that show.
Yeah, they were probably a little too young, and some of the villain bad guy creatures that they get were very X-Filesy.
One of the weirdest episodes that I can remember that is they had this girl that was trying to get skinny, and of course she got like a kryptonite smoothie or something. She had to keep
everything.
Yeah. And they did this one scene where she like unhinged her jaw and her mouth.
Yes,
it was so cheesy looking.
Jeez,
that was one of the worst episodes.
That was nasty. There was one of the ones had to do with like a bug monster. It was like an early, like first 10 or so episodes. And there was like a kid who was like, I don't think it was cockroaches, but some kind of bug thing. And the girls were like, nope, done. Nope, pass. We're done with this. As much as we liked the guy, tied to the scarecrow thing with this S on his chest and how ripped he was, we're not that interested.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, Smallville, that was one of those shows that I never missed back in the day.
Oh, for sure. I watched it all the way. I watched it until they basically started segueing to Metropolis, and then I never finished it at that point. I never got past that.
After Michael Rosenbaum left in season 7.
That's about where I got.
I still kept watching till the end, but the episodes just weren't as good.
Sure, because that dynamic is a huge piece of it.
Yeah.
The young Lex, young Clark thing worked really well, considering how like it was a retcon in a lot of ways. Like it was changing the mythology of Superman and Lex, but it worked. They did a great job of making that seem functional.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
like Michael Rosenbaum, that made him like probably my favorite Lex Luthor.
And two people that really were suited for their roles, who ran with it and really did a lot with it. Totally.
Oh, that's right. Terry Hatcher was a Bond girl one time.
She was one of the. God, what was that? World Is Not Enough? Was that the one? Tomorrow Never Dies. It was one of the Pierce ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was The World Is Not Enough. It's been so long though, I could be wrong. Because I know he did one with Halle Berry, and
that was Die Another Day.
Yeah, I think that might have been the last Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Correct.
But yeah, I forgot about Terry Hatcher being in one of those.
Yeah, yeah, short-lived.
Yeah.
It was TND. What is that one?
Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies.
So it's Tomorrow Never Dies. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one. I know one of them had what's her name? Dr. Christmas Jones.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist. I was like,
that was
kill me now.
That was just a small stretch.
I was frustrated because I liked Pierce as Bond, and I think he got easily the worst written movies of any actor in the Bond history.
Yeah.
I think his movies are so bad. And it's not any fault of the actor. It's just really poorly written films, much like what Roger Moore got, that were super tongue-in-cheek, super goofy and silly, and they just didn't work. God, it was such a shame, because he looks more like, in my opinion, if I was going to sketch what James Bond looks like, I'm drawing Pierce Brosnan. I'm drawing a young Pierce Brosnan every time. He looks more like James Bond than Sean Connery looks like James Bond.
Yeah,
Sean Connery,
look. Yeah.
Connery had like almost no, he wore a wig. Connery, for those that don't know, wore a wig in every single Bond film he made, all of them, from the beginning on. And you look at Pierce,
like
and Pierce
after the fact, but
yeah, I just wish Pierce had gotten scripts worthy of his skill, because he is really talented as a performer.
Yeah.
He did a movie that I think is super underrated called The Tailor of Panama. Really great indie with Jeffrey Rush, a spy in Panama, kind of a 50s movie. And he's great. He's just a really talented actor. And I don't think he ever got movies worthy of him. I do like Golden Eye, but it's still not as good as almost any other actors. It's his best movie, but it's not as good as the other guys. And the more I watch the best Daniel Craig movies, Skyfall, Casino Royale, those movies crush. Those movies are easily the best written Bond films. You look Golden, I challenge anybody, Casino Royale and Skyfall, put them up against.
Those are two of my favorites.
They're so good. They easily are top 5 Bond films. As much as I love Goldfinger and Dr. No and Russia with Love, I will happily throw Skyfall and Casino Royale up there as worthy of those. They're just so well written.
Casino Royale, that was the first one he did, but then
and Skyfall was the one that ended Judi Dench's role as M.
Yeah, those were great movies. I never did see what was the Quantum of Solace. I never got to see that.
Oof, yeah, I think Daniel Craig suffered like a lot of Bond actors suffer with like the inconsistency of the writing. So some of his movies were amazing, and some of them were like Quantum of Solace. As much as the action sequences are entertaining, it's a mess of a movie.
Oh, really?
It doesn't work. That's his second movie. Yeah.
And
Skyfall works really well because I think it's just a real tightly wound thriller. It's not an action movie as much as it is a thriller. And Judi Dench is great in her sort of swan song. Ralph Fiennes comes in as the new M and a really great performance. And I get that Craig is not people's favorite, like Carlito is saying. And yeah, who cares if it's a Dark Knight ripoff? It's a really freaking good Dark Knight ripoff. It's great. And it works really well. And what's his name as the bad guy from No Country for Old Men?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name, but yeah.
He's a great bad guy in that. I'm a Bond. I like Bond films, and I really have no like hate for any of them. Like I can happily watch the worst Bond movie and just enjoy it. And my daughter Charlie likes old movies, and for her, she's happy to sit in on anything Connery Bond and just enjoy it. Yeah, Javier Bardem, thank you.
It's been so many years since I've seen like the originals. I need to.
They're so good.
Try to watch some of those.
It's kind of like reading Silver Age comics. You just got to be in the right mindset that like a character can be named Pussy Galore, and that's just normal. That's just reasonable. That great line when she's like, "I'm Pussy Galore," and Connery's like, "Of course you are. I must be dreaming." Like he's just like he's so clearly like thinking he's drunk and still under the like effects of the dart that they shot him with. It's if you can watch those like you would read a Silver Age comic, you'll get a lot of joy out of them. You don't need to judge them under the modern lens. You can just laugh at it.
Movies like that.
Yeah, it's fun. My frustration is when modern movies blow it. It's like you had your shot. Like, come on, let's get it right. I even love what is it? On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is George Lazenby's one shot.
His only like Bond film.
Yeah, he did one Bond film, and it had Diana Rigg, who is a great British actress from the Avengers British TV show. And she was in The Muppet Caper. She's a great role in that. Diana Rigg plays the Bond girl in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And it's a great, fun Bond film. And more than that, it is an early precursor to like realism in fist fighting scenes, because there are 2 or 3 great fist fighting Bond fights that are like almost Bourne level, but they're like 30 years before Bourne. He's fighting guys on the beach and just doing some really great elbow hits, and the fight scenes are great for like 1970. They're like, you're like, what the heck? How ahead of the game was this movie? But because people were so pissed they weren't getting Sean Connery, the movie like bombed. It was like an epic fail because nobody wanted to replace how do you replace Sean Connery? So his movie bombs. They bring Connery back for Never Say Never Again. It kind of bombs. And then they're like, you know what? We're just scrap the whole thing. Where's Roger Moore? Let's bring this other guy in. Let's start off a whole new thing here. Yep. And poor Lazenby just gets thrown to the curb, but he made a really good Bond film.
Man.
I think it's a fun Bond movie.
I don't really remember much about that. I don't know. I remember seeing like bits and pieces of it, but
he gets in a
watch again.
The opening of the movie is he's chasing this cute woman in a car driving on a windy road near the beach, and she's like beautiful, and he's like, wow, she's really cute, I gotta catch her. And he loses her, and then he comes around a bend and she's parked near the beach and she's down near the shore, and he walks down there, and when he wants to talk to her, these thugs jump out to catch her, and he's got to beat these thugs off on the sand, and he's doing all these cool fight moves. And she leaves him, gets in the car, and drives away while he fights the guys. And he beats them all. And then he looks straight at the camera and he says, this never happened to the other guy. Like, it is such a hilarious, on-the-nose comment that, you know, as the audience, they were probably roaring with laughter that he's clearly making a Connery joke right there. It's like so on the nose. It's hilarious. And I love the tongue-in-cheek quality of it. I thought it was great.
It's funny, like a lot of times movies like that won't be appreciated until years later.
And I think given the time, you could go back and watch. Give it a shot, Carlito. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I do think it is overly hated, and it's actually, for me, it feels almost like a comedic Bourne film. Like the fights are straight out of Bourne, and the tongue-in-cheek comedy is really well done. I enjoy it, and I can laugh at it and enjoy it.
It's funny you mentioned the Avengers TV show. I remember, so I had never heard of that. And I remember they did a movie in the '90s with Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman.
And Uma Thurman, yeah.
And I remember hearing about that movie, The Avengers.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the Marvel Avengers characters.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I got my older brother. I was like, man, we got to go see this, the Avengers movie.
Oh, how disappointed were you?
I talked him into going, and we got down there, and it like came on. I was watching. It was like I kept waiting for like Hulk and Thor to come on screen, and it was just like this British guy. I was like, what the crap is this? I was so disappointed.
Yeah, it's funny because the two actors, Diana Rigg, and I can't remember the gentleman who played the other guy on the original British Avengers show, both of them were in Bond films. So Diana Rigg is in On Her Majesty's Secret Service as the main Bond woman. And the guy who is the main Avenger from the Avengers show is in Roger Moore's last film, A View to a Kill. He plays like Roger Moore's partner or whatever in some of the investigative moments. But it was a huge show, very popular in England and semi-popular in the US. And they made the crappiest American film out of that. It was awful. Not a good movie.
I didn't even watch the whole thing. I don't think. I was so upset.
You made a good choice. Carlito, I will happily, you tell me when you're watching it, I'll make an effort to rewatch it and then we can chat about it because I know you and I love movies. I would be pumped to talk a little on Her Majesty's Secret Service with you, but go into it knowing it's very tongue in cheek. It's very British and lighthearted. It's not designed to be like Casino Royale or it's very much in that 70s era of spy movie. But I'm down to talk about it, brother. Anytime. You know I like talking with you about anything.
I saw the comic collector Tim pop in earlier. What's going on, man?
What's up, Tim? Yeah, Crystal, I know I had family members that loved the Avengers TV series. I never got into it, kind of like Doctor Who. I never got into it, so I never really experienced it.
Yeah, it was like I had never heard of that before, so I was just completely thrown off when I went to see it. It wasn't like the event that I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. That's rough.
Like we didn't have internet or nothing back then, so I couldn't like see reviews or trailers. I just
all I knew was it was called Avengers,
yeah.
And it's an action movie. Yeah. You look at that poster and you're like, I don't see Iron Man or Thor. I see a guy in a top hat and a woman. This looks more like a Bond poster.
Yeah, I was thinking, who are they going to get to play Hulk, man? Is Lou Ferrigno coming back?
So good. If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. broke because of comics. I've never been able to bridge the gap on Doctor Who. Partly because, and maybe you guys feel the same way, as comic collectors, we are sort of completionist OCD idiots about stuff, right? So when you tell me a show has existed since 1960 and they've had 7, 10, 12 Doctor Who's, I mean, there's the 60s and then there's the 70s and then there's the 80s and then there's the 2000s. My brain says, well, dang, I got to go back and watch the 60s stuff. I can't start in the freaking middle of this thing. And people are like, no. You don't need to watch any of that 60s and 70s stuff. Just start with Christopher Eccleston or whomever, David Tennant, and just jump right in at this point. My brain says that's like telling me to start collecting X-Men at issue 174. Like, why am I starting there? Like, you got to break it down for me. This is not helping my OCD.
I'm the same, like comics, but I never did see any Doctor Who either myself. I remember I had a couple friends years ago that was into it, and a
lot of people love it.
Watch an episode, and I just never did.
Yeah, it's hugely popular.
Yeah.
I've never seen more than a single episode. Even then, I think I've only seen like a half an episode. It's just one of those things. I got a few blank spots in my pop culture. Yeah. Doctor Who, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and really? Supernatural. It's, you know what I walked in on? Parents of teenagers will understand this. Sometimes your kids get a hold of your Netflix login or whatever. I walked in the other night, and my girls are on summer vacation right now. I stroll in, and Charlie's in the middle of a Supernatural episode. And I'm like, WTF? Like, I tried to watch Supernatural with my wife. She thought it was too scary. We never got more than 3 episodes in, and she gave up on it. And so as a result, I haven't watched it. I'm like, Charlie, you're watching this? I would happily watch it with you. And she looks at me dead in the eye, and she says, I'm on season 5, Dad. I'm like, how did I not know you've been watching this? This is not just like, oh, they did 10 episodes. These are like 24 episode seasons. My youngest daughter has watched over 100 episodes of Supernatural, and I had no freaking clue.
Yeah, I think that was one of those shows that lasted like 13 or 14 seasons or something.
Yeah, and I missed all of it. And then there's Charlie happily watching episode 9 of season 5, and I'm like, what the heck? How did I miss this? I'm looking for somebody to watch Supernatural with me. My wife abandoned me on this, and my daughter is watching it on her own, just like powering through this show. Don't Yas Queen her, Crystal. This is like, I got stabbed. I'm pulling the knife out of my back here.
Betrayal.
Unacceptable. Look at her. She's coming out now. She knows I'm talking about her.
That's not fair. I didn't know you liked it.
You didn't ask.
You didn't ask either. You're like, I didn't know. You didn't ask me if I was watching it.
Glitter and duct tape is in the chat, and she's cheering you on.
I will happily watch with you. I will wait for you. I don't know how long.
Do you know how long it's going to take me on my own to watch 5 seasons of Supernatural?
I can stop watching it.
100.
I can watch it with you.
Okay, now you're talking.
I will watch it with you.
From the beginning.
I like the beginning episodes.
You'll watch
100
episodes. I'm saying it's on YouTube on Russ's channel. He's got 25,000 subscribers. You're telling me forever you will go back and watch Supernatural from the beginning with me.
Happily.
Handshake. Put your hand on screen here somewhere.
You got to sign a contract.
Yes.
Get the lawyers in.
It's happening.
Oh, pinky promise.
Pinky promise, right there. It's happening, Crystal. This is legit.
You just got to take like 2 weeks off and just binge watch.
This is the summer of Supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I got her to agree to that. Holy cow. Thank you, Charlie. Wow. Crystal's always been a champion of my girls.
Yeah.
Crystal sends us Valentine cards and gift. She is so nice to send us stickers, and we get cards in the mail from Crystal. And is
I think Glitter and Duct Tape was the first person ever that sent me a Valentine's Day card. In the 43 years I've been alive, that was the only Valentine's card I ever got.
She is one of the nicest people ever, and has been following me and my girls from the jump, and just been cheering all of their journeys on. Wherever their journeys seem to go, there's Crystal saying, yes, go girls, get it. I've absolutely been so grateful for people like her in this community, because it's been the lifeblood of what we've gotten from this, is people like her.
Yeah, definitely.
Carlito's going to X-Files.
It's funny, I've never seen X-Files. I love that like supernatural alien type stuff, but I've never seen an episode of X-Files.
So here's what I did. I never watched X-Files when it was originally on. They did 9 seasons on Fox, and I never watched it. However, I was working at a video store, and my wife and I just moved into an apartment together, and we just got Netflix for the first time. And what we decided was our Netflix queue, this is when you would get the discs in the mail, was
in a while.
Yeah, yes. This was early 2000s, late 90s. Our Netflix queue was X-Files disc, movie. X-Files disc, movie. And the whole queue was ordered like this. And we watched on disc all of the X-Files from season 1 through 9 as a couple together. Before kids, before any of that, we nerded on X-Files in a huge way and got way into it and loved it. It was the first show we technically binged together.
That's awesome.
Crystal, I'll send that same sentiment right back to you, my friend.
Oh, absolutely.
But the girls didn't necessarily like. We've done like 4 or 5 episodes of X-Files, Carlito, with the girls, and they half liked it. They haven't gotten into it the same way my wife and I did. We may come back around to it. We're doing a lot of sitcoms with them these days. We did How I Met Your Mother, and we're doing Friends. We're on season 5 of Friends.
My mom used to love a show. I think it was called The Pretender.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I can't remember the actor's name because I never saw much of it myself. But that was like one of her favorites.
Yeah, that one was on CBS, I think, with like The Mentalist and a few others around the same time. We were thinking of trying The Mentalist. I think Charlie would enjoy The Mentalist.
Yeah, I remember seeing a few episodes of that.
Yeah. Oh man, now I got to make room for Supernatural this summer.
Yeah.
That's
Just
gonna
like,
be Russ
get
is
the
like,
popcorn out and binge watch.
yeah, Charlie and I are just gonna be like crashing on the couch. Let's do another Supernatural. See if Kate gets in on it or if she's like hard pass.
Yeah.
She's picky, you know. I don't know if she'll like it. We'll see.
Brooke said he hated Seinfeld until it went off the air. Now he loves it.
Sometimes binging a show makes all the difference. You know,
Yeah.
I think as much as I loved Lost, and I'm wearing a Black Rock T-shirt
nice.
here, so I'm clearly a Lost idiot. As much as I loved it, I think it might have been a show that benefits now as a binge watchable show because I think the frustrating episodes would be you wouldn't spend as much time thinking on them. You would just plow right through.
Yeah.
And the best episodes would just keep you going. I think it's a show that the friends of mine who've watched it the first time streaming have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, it's definitely better because I remember when it was originally on, and they ended the first season without going into the hatch. And I remember having to wait so long to figure out what. It's like, come on, dude. It felt like a year waiting.
I got my John Locke statue standing on the hatch.
I've been watching some of those figures on eBay, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
I got his little dagger, his little knife there, and his water bottle. His knife doesn't stay in his hand very well. I got it. But it's there. I'll leave it on. Now I dropped it. What are you gonna do? But there he is, John Locke. My favorite.
I like how it come with like stuff from the show. Like I think Locke came with like that brochure for the Walkabout or something.
Yes.
Like I've been watching those on eBay forever now, but I still haven't pulled the trigger on one yet.
Yeah, there's lots of fun memorabilia for some of these shows that I think is really kind of cool. And I will say Carlito, Person of Interest was a great show. Jim Caviezel.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And Michael Emerson from Lost.
Yeah, I think that was like the only reason I started watching that show because it had him from Lost on it.
Yeah, and they added an actress whose name it's not Tandy Newton, a woman who was in Benjamin Button. A great actress. She was a cop, and they added her late in the show, like season 2 or 3, and it was great. I really thought that show was great. And The Mentalist, my wife and I watched pretty much from the jump and loved that show too. I think you would enjoy Crystal those shows. I think they're great, binge watchable. You can catch a few episodes and then go to bed, or watch a whole bunch for a day if you wanted to nerd out and just like you'd be in your pajamas with popcorn all day. You can. The shows work both ways.
Oh, definitely. Lost is so easy to get into.
And it's not a terribly, I mean, as much as they did like 25 episodes a season, it was only 6 seasons. So it's not like it was like 12 seasons of a show that's like so massive. I think people plow through Lost pretty darn quickly.
Like two of the greatest episodes, or one of the greatest episodes ever that sticks out in my mind is like the Nikki and Paulo episode. Totally award-winning material right there.
Very divisive, right? Because like some people wanted nothing to do with those characters. Yeah. Other people, what I love about it, and people can hate on it all they want, it's like Alfred Hitchcock came in and did an episode of Lost.
Yeah,
and
it like totally threw me off when it first came on. I was like, like I didn't know I was watching Lost for a minute.
It was like
what happened?
You get jewel thieves. You get like murder twists. You get like scary insects. You get buried alive. You get so many things. It's like a tension-filled roller coaster ride. And I absolutely loved it.
What's up, Alex? That episode, like, it just came out of the blue, like, because I think they introduced them like a couple episodes before, just like threw them in, and then they did their like solo episode.
Sure.
Because it's like, oh yeah, they've been here the whole time.
And I get what they were trying to do, because for so long in the early seasons they had all these background extras, right? Yeah. And they were like, why don't we try to bring some of them into the show? And I don't think they realized how frustrated that would make the audience. And they were quickly realized that's a problem. We're going to cut them out. We're just not going to worry about it, you know?
But yeah, I could see what they were doing there.
Yeah, I get the purpose. I don't think it was necessary, and I think that it wasn't a good call.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
just like a filler episode.
yeah, but it worked for me. What's up, Tony's in the chat.
Yo, old wolf. What's
Broke
up, man?
broke because of comics has a great question up a few there.
Where was it at?
Uh, I I'm gonna piss off Carlito in a big way because my two answers to this are shows that I know he loves. Um, and it's not that I couldn't stand them, or maybe that's the right way to say it. So I watched 3 seasons of Breaking Bad before I gave up on the show. So I can admit to saying I gave it a real shot. And the reason it didn't work for me is because it's about a dad and a teacher dying from cancer who decides to basically destroy his life because of it. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this show because it's basically like I can't help feeling like I am this guy and I'm going to watch him become the worst version of himself and destroy everything he touches. And that's the show. That's the show. I knew it one episode in. I knew that was the premise of Breaking Bad. You can tell you're going to watch this guy plummet. And there is no redemption story. That's the show. And I was like, okay, I get it, but I don't need 7 seasons of it. Like you could do it in a 2-hour movie and I might be captivated. Over 7 seasons, I'm just gonna die. Like I can't handle it.
I never saw that one.
And I love it. It's beloved, and I get it. It is beloved, but
it's been years and years since I've had cable, so there's a lot of those shows I just never saw.
I got 3 seasons in, and I was like, it's well done, it's well acted, it's depressing the heck out of me, and I don't need it anymore. Like there's plenty of things I can do, but I'm gonna cut that out of my life. Done. Done. The other one, and he hates me for this one, is Sopranos.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's another one I never like. Most of those cable shows I just haven't seen.
I did one of this is back in the Netflix days. I did one disc of Sopranos. I think it had 3 episodes. I watched all 3, and I finished it feeling like, much like Breaking Bad, I felt like I know where this show is going to go, and I don't care. I feel like episode 1 of The Sopranos tells you this is an unstable guy. He's going to fall apart, and life's going to go to heck. Okay, I don't need 7 seasons to tell me this. I get it, and I don't care. I'm moving on. And I know it is beloved, and he's unsubscribing me. So, I got the message in the first 3 episodes, and I didn't need more. And that's how I finished out with it. So those are the big 2 that are like beloved shows that didn't work for me. Game of Thrones, I loved Game of Thrones, even to the end when I could tell it wasn't as good as the beginning because they had no source material to build off of. Yeah. I still enjoyed it, and I still think it's a good show.
Game of Thrones is one I did actually get to watch. I remember a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago now, I want to say maybe 2022, I got an email for like 2 free weeks of HBO.
Sure.
On the app. So I signed up for the 2 free weeks, and I binge watched the entire series in those 2 weeks.
Whoa!
And it's kind of a blur now because I've been watching the whole thing so fast. I don't really remember what happened in what season. But after the 2 weeks, I canceled it so I wouldn't get charged for the subscription.
That is a well executed plan, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like. So I don't.
But you clearly enjoyed it because you powered through it, right?
Yeah.
I will say, I watched season 1 and was blown away, and then I read all the books and loved them and thought they were just phenomenal, and then watched all of the show and got super into it, and I was sad that the show outpaced the novels and they had to kind of write their own ending.
Yeah.
But it all works for me. And in my opinion, even without the last few books being published, I do think the writers of the show knew what they were doing and they were on the right path.
Yeah, the way it ended seemed pretty rushed and weird to me. Like I didn't really care for the ending much.
Right.
Like I thought, I thought they were going to do like this whole redemption arc with Jamie Lannister's character.
I do think he got the shaft. Yes.
Yeah. I feel
but
like
I also
more there.
I also feel like the entire concept of those books is that Daenerys Targaryen is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Daenerys, you're watching the birth of a horrible villain. And that, as much as we sympathize with her, because she is sold like property and treated like a slave and beaten and raped and abused and all of these things, and rises to power, and as much as we want her to have redemption, she's the villain of Game of Thrones, and we are watching a birth of a villain. And
I had never read the book, so I didn't see that. I saw like little hints here and there, but I didn't think they were going to go like full.
Right.
Like burn a whole village.
I wanted Arya Stark to kill her. That's what I wanted. Yeah. I wanted Arya to have to kill Jon Snow, wear his face, and then kill Dany.
Oh,
that's what
crazy. Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
So, yeah.
I wanted Jon Snow to defeat the Ice Men of the North, those the zombies of the North. I wanted him to defeat the White Walkers, come back and try to marry Daenerys, only for Arya to have to be the one to come in and say, "No, I'm going to kill my own brother just to make sure Dany doesn't come to power, and I'm going to wipe this whole family line off the map." That's what I wanted Arya's big reveal to be, and that's I
remember after
I think that's where the books are headed, but we'll see. We'll see if they ever get written.
With like her and the man with many faces, it seemed like they just kind of dropped that after. Yeah.
I that's what I was predicting, was that she would have to kill somebody really close to her and become their identity just to kill Dany.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be like the one at the end to like kill Cersei.
Yeah. I think ultimately, as much as we're watching Dany become a monster, we're also watching Jon Snow realize that he's not ready to be a leader because he's too sensitive. And even if he achieves success in the North against the White Walkers, the second he goes down to play politics in the South, like his dad did, or his adopted father.
Yeah.
The second he goes down there, he's going to suffer from all the same problems Ned Stark follows and fall into the same trap of trying to believe that Dany Targaryen is good. And he's going to need a rude awakening, which is Arya, in my opinion. And Arya is going to need to sacrifice that thing that connected her most to our world, which is the brother that cared about her the most. So that's the tragic ending I predicted.
That would have been a really good twist.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Dany get stabbed by Jon, only for Jon to like do a Mission Impossible and peel the mask off into Arya. You know, that's what I was hoping would happen, but you know.
What's up, Jackson?
But I do love that universe. I think it is. I'm a fantasy novel nerd. I don't know about you, if you had books that you read when you were a kid. If I found a book with a dragon, I would probably read it as a nerd kid.
I didn't read many books outside of comics, but there were a few. Like I remember Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I love that book.
Great. That's top 3 books of all time for me.
Multiple times as a kid.
Great book. But like all the Lord of the Rings, all the Dragonlance books, all the Game of Thrones, all the Sword of Truth. I read a bunch of Wheel of Time. I didn't finish Wheel of Time, but a bunch of all of that stuff. I read a ton. Yes, R.A. Salvatore. Yeah, bottom collector. I totally agree. Bottom tier collector. That was a little weird when I dropped the tier part. Well, John, you were wrong. Yes, I am wrong often. I do read, and yes, Old Wolf, I do read my fairy smut nowadays, as you can call it. I'm reading the acronym is ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by the amazing writer Sarah J. Maas. And she's written, I think, 4 fantasy novel series, each of them having several, up to 5 to 6 novels in them. Yeah. Prolific and talented and a great universe. And that's the kind of crud I read nonstop as a kid. And then Sheena from Melanin and Manga got me into this new series, ACOTAR. And I was like, now I've read the first 4 novels in, a couple of months. I've read 4 books. I just powered through these things.
It's still hard to get me to read anything that's not a comic book. Like,
I get it. Like
the last books I've read that weren't comic related were Rena's books, Sharon's Daughter.
Nice.
I've been getting those every time she drops a new one.
There's a third one, right? I don't think I bought it, but I don't think I've read the third one yet.
Yeah. I'm about halfway through it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I liked her universe too. But fantasy books, I never wanted to read stuff that took place in the real world as much. I
remember being in school, and every time they would drop a book report on us, if there was a movie to that book report, I would just go rent the movie. I'm like, I'm not reading Scarlet Letter. I'm not reading that. There's a movie.
So I think this is how you spell her name, Crystal. Sarah J. Maas. Some people just call her SJM. And she wrote the Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is 5 novels, although one of them is really short. It's like a novelette. And then she wrote the Throne of Glass series, which I think is 5 novels. And then she has a whole other novel series. She's amazingly talented. Now, her books get called fairy smut because they do involve some very spicy sequences for some people that might be uncomfortable with, adult.
Are there pictures?
No pictures.
No. Oh, man.
It's all up here. It's all up there. And she's a really talented writer. And I've reviewed her first 3 books on Instagram. If you want to know a little bit about them, a little bit about my thoughts and how smutty they get. Because I don't think they get I honestly think they're pretty mild overall. They're just adult. They're not like graphic. They're just adult, which is fine. I think that's totally acceptable.
What's up, 22?
22 I love his live streams. I love his videos. Nobody laughs as much and as enthusiastically and as like contagiously as 22. I love his stuff.
That's awesome.
What's
up, Simply Incredible? That was another guy I got to meet for the first time at Heroes Con.
Nice. Wait, Simply Incredible Disc Golf. Is that Simply Incredible Podcast as a new channel?
Yeah. No, he's he got a second channel.
Now I get it. Okay.
But his second channel hit 1,000 subs recently.
Woo!
I've never played disc golf. I feel like I would probably throw my shoulder out. But it looks fun.
It is. It absolutely is.
I've never been the athletic type.
I grew up with an older and a younger brother who were very athletic. And as middle children often do, I went in a completely opposite direction. So they were athletic and I went creative. So hence my love of theater and books and art and whatever. They were busy playing basketball and volleyball, and I was busy going to plays and musicals and reading books.
That's awesome.
So here I am.
Jackson, that's another great book that Rena did. It was
yes.
I think she's working on the sequel to that book as well.
Oh, is she? I didn't know that.
I was lucky enough to be one of the test readers for that, so I got to read it way before it came out.
Nice. 22 says I'm basically an albino. Tickle me Elmo. I love it. Oh, but sir, what I love about your channel is just I tune in and I find myself laughing right along with you. The joy is contagious, my friend.
That's another thing that's great about the community. There's so many people out there you can just watch when you like if you're feeling a little bit down, just turn on YouTube and check it out.
And I'm a live stream like addict. Like I don't enjoy edited content. I tend to if you do live streams, I will hit the notification bell and I will if I've got a spare minute, I'm cooking dinner, washing dishes, doing laundry, working in the garage, driving, doing errands. I'm listening to friends in the YouTube community that are live. That's what I'm because I want to be in the chat and I want to comment and I want to connect with you guys. And that's my jam. And that's why I go on this community.
That's what I like about lives. It's so interactive. You don't feel like you're just talking to yourself and the camera. I enjoy editing, but I do like find myself liking doing lives a lot better.
I don't enjoy editing and I do enjoy lives better. I can't handle it. I really can't. Yeah, Carlito, I think you'll enjoy it. He does great content around comics, and great attitude. Really great community member. You'll dig it.
Brooke says they have disc golf at their local park. Yeah, there's actually a course at the walking track where I go every day, but I've never tried to play it myself. I'm not athletic at all. I have no athletic skills.
I think like anything, it just takes practice, and you got to find people that you want to play with, and don't mind looking like a fool when you're doing it.
Like I remember one time, one of my uncles was into golf, and he had this like huge backyard, and it was like he was hitting golf balls. He was like, "Come on and try it," and I was like, I went to swing at it, and I was looking that way, and I hit it that way, but the ball went straight that way into the woods. He made me go get it.
Oh my god!
I can't do that.
Well, I mean, my older brother, like I said, he's one of those athletic types, but I've watched him break windows on golf courses.
Oh.
Even people that are, he's got. My older brother is one of those that hits it a mile, but it might not be in the direction where he wants it to go. He crushes the ball. He swings so hard you'd think he was on steroids, but if the wind is blowing a little or he's not watching a little, that ball, he's broken things. He's broken things. You'll hear it ricochet off the roof of houses. Like that's where he's going with it.
Sniper golf.
Yeah, it's deadly. Like, and I saw a great video recently of a guy who lived on a golf course, and what he did was whenever he heard the ball hit his house, he went in his backyard and just laid down. So that when the person came to get their ball, they were like, "Oh crap! I just killed this guy." And this guy would just lay there for a little bit until he felt it was too uncomfortable. And then he would get up and act dazed and walk into his house.
I bet the guy was thinking, "Oh, here comes a lawsuit."
Yeah, it's so good. I was dying watching this video of his wife recording him laughing the entire time while he's just laying out there, and you see this guy roll up in his cart. I was dying. Oh, so good.
That's awesome.
So good. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh about it, you know?
More bowling and billiards.
It's funny. Pool or billiards is the only game I play left-handed. I might have been a lefty at heart, and I just never grew into it. And for whatever reason, billiards, and I suck at it, so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've always shot pool left-handed. It's weird.
I like pool, but I'm not good at it.
Same, but it's fun.
And the bowling, I'm not good at either.
Yeah.
Especially the eyesight.
If it's Wii bowling, I'm better at Wii bowling.
Yeah, I used to rock on that.
Yeah, there it is. This chat's great, man. I love it. I'm not a great billiard player, but I do shoot lefty, so just watch out. I don't know if I'm gonna launch. I've been known to launch a ball off the table.
Yeah. Now I have played a lot of football, but that was admittedly that was Madden on the PlayStation.
There
So
it is. Tony, it's spelled WII. It's the Nintendo system called the Wii. WII.
that
And
was a
one of the basic games that came with it, besides like tennis and fitness or whatever, was Wii Bowling. And I'm just saying, I crush at Wii Bowling. You better watch yourself. I can almost roll a perfect frame at Nintendo Wii Bowling. You just watch it. My girls would like play against me and get so pissed off. Throw in the remote and and then there's Dad with a little googly spin across the body, just rolling that ball in and taking them all out. Watch it.
That was the only time I could get a strike.
What was the first gaming system you remember playing?
My very first one was Nintendo. The first Nintendo.
Same. Oh no, actually, I had a Commodore 64 before that.
Oh yeah, the game that came with it was a double game. It was Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge.
Great cartridge.
But that was my very first game. I think I was 7, and that was when I stopped going outside.
So this explains that video games are bad. People should not buy them.
Still to this day, I'm a gamer. I got my PS5 right here. I got my Xbox next to it. I've got on this mini PC that the guys got me. Loaded it with a ton of retro games. So I got like the full Nintendo, the full NES, full Sega library.
Is there a system that you use, or is it all illegal download stuff?
I don't know. I don't know what.
I'll talk to you offline then. I played. My mom had a Commodore 64, which for those that don't know is like I don't want to call it a black and white computer because it was technically green. Like the screen was like just green, and you used literal floppy disks, like disks that would like flap like Polaroids to play the game. And I don't remember all the games, but we definitely had a strip poker game. And you try to beat the photo of the pretty lady little by little.
Yeah, I do remember when they first started bringing in computers to the schools where I was.
Yeah.
I remember playing Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah.
When I was supposed to be doing work on the computer and making sure that you would look at me play like Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Were you the banker, or were you like pushing like challenges of like trying to be other jobs?
Oh man, I don't remember much except just the wagon going across the street.
Because you could pick your job at the beginning, and depending on the job you had, carpenter, banker, whatever, you would start with a certain amount of money, and you could use it to buy supplies to carry you on the journey. And if you were a banker, you would have a ton of money to start. And it was easy to buy like extra axles and wheels and stuff for the wagon and keep you on the road. And then you just buy a ton of bullets and then just shoot your way across the middle of America.
Well, I didn't even remember all that part.
Yeah. At the beginning of the game, you had to pick your job. And if you picked like carpenter or something that was like a working class job, you'd have very little money, but you could sometimes maybe fix a broken axle and stuff along the way. It was very entertaining. Tony, look, she was a single mother, raising 3 boys. She knew who she had in her house. She knew what she was dealing with. It was a disgusting haven of masculinity, and she was just trying to make it through the day, my brother. Like, just understand. Have some patience.
That's funny because I like growing up, never had a computer in the home.
Sure.
Like we didn't get our first because we grew up pretty poor, so we didn't get our first computer until I was, probably 28, 29 years old. And our first internet, I think, was like Net 10 dial-up. You had this disc you had to put in. And
Yep. My buddy, my best friend, I almost mispronounced that. My best friend had a much nicer computer, and his floppy disks were actually the like solid hard disks.
Oh yeah.
He had Leisure Suit Larry, and I don't know if you knew that game, but that was a borderline R-rated game where you were this like you were this like sleazeball running around Miami and trying to get women to like take their tops off for money. Like it was a weird game for kids, but we were like avidly trying to defeat levels so that we could see, the cute ladies.
I remember a game on the PlayStation 2.
Horrible.
My older brother had it. My brother's 10 years older than me. And he had a game on PlayStation 2 called BMX Triple X.
Ooh.
It was like an extreme like BMX racing game.
Yeah.
But there were scenes where like live girls were doing strip scenes and stuff. They had like a live like grainy footage on the PS2. And I remember like sneaking and trying to play that and getting caught.
I don't know if I'm giving away too much information here, but I do love the laughs in the chat. Jackson Roy Kirk remembers Leisure Suit Larry. I'm glad I'm not the only one. These are some naughty games but like, they were barely R-rated by like modern standards. Yeah. You're catching more late night on HBO than you're probably catching on Leisure Suit Larry. And the graphics on Leisure Suit Larry, probably it was more of a cartoon than anything. It was very cartoony, but entertaining, right? Oh, Carlito died of dysentery. Well, I'm sorry about that, buddy. It's a rough time traveling that Oregon Trail. It's a hard life. Did you have a favorite? Looking back, was there a favorite gaming system that you're like, this is the peak of gaming?
It's hard to choose between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 because both those systems had so many great games that I love. Like, I just recently, a couple weeks ago, I've been trying to like rebuild my gaming collection, and I picked up one of my favorites from the PlayStation 1, Resident Evil 2.
Oh, wow. Old school.
This was like one of my all-time favorites. There's so many great games like Metal Gear Solid. I remember one called Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis. Like I had so many favorites on PlayStation 1.
Sure.
So, but I had a ton of favorites on PlayStation 2 as well. Like there's a wrestling game called Here Comes the Pain. That was like one of my all-time favorite wrestling games. There was a snowboard game called SSX Tricky.
Okay.
That was really awesome on PS2, but overall, I think I got to give it to PlayStation 1 as like my favorite system because there were just hundreds of games on there that I could go back and play anytime.
I'm with Bottom Tier Collector. Like N64 was pretty peak for me. Obviously, GoldenEye and the I've never, as a kid, there are very few games I defeated. And Ocarina of Time, I've probably defeated 3 times. I was willing to go back and restart 3 separate occasions and play that game start to finish, and loved it the entire time.
I never really got to play Nintendo 64. My older brother had one for like a month, and he ended up selling it before I could really like get into it and play. Like the only game I got to play on it was Mario 64.
Sure.
And then he sold it, and I just like. So I basically, I went from like regular Nintendo to Sega Genesis to PlayStation 1. Yeah.
That's the one I wanted to mention was Sega Genesis because I was obsessed with so many Sega Genesis. Obviously Sonic and Echo the Dolphin. Like there were some ridiculous games on the Sega Genesis, Beast Master or Beast Wars or something. I loved Sega Genesis.
I remember like I was playing my Nintendo. I had just rented I think a RoboCop game on Nintendo.
Sure.
And I was sitting there playing it, and my older brother walked through the door with a Sega and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I felt like I hit the lottery. I was oh my God, a Sega!
I also want to say hello to Chicago Schultze because he's had lots of great comments, and I'm sorry, the brother. He mentioned Leisure Suit Larry, but now he's talking about he started with Atari, which I had Atari as well.
What's up,
those are the days, right? When you can think back to like it's a Friday night, you got a video you picked up at the video store, your friends are sleeping over, the Sega Genesis is popping, like popcorn's going off in the microwave. It's like that is the juice. And if you can go back and bottle that, there's nothing better. There's nothing that's going to peak that. As much as there are, soccer games you're cheering your girls on and they're like doing great and you're feeling so proud as a parent, that's the juice, man. Like it's those things. If you can bottle that, dang, man. Yeah, there it is. Simply incredible. Friday, taco subs, Mountain Dew, and an NES. Yes. Magic.
I remember back in the 90s, one of my favorite drinks was called Surge.
Oh, yes. I remember Surge.
Like doing that and just playing the Sega like all night.
There it is. Do it.
What's
man.
up, Brian?
Brian LCS. For those that don't know Brian, you should click his link and cruise on over. He is the champion of the Comic Community Awards, and nominations are now open. That means you can use the link to comiccommunityawards.org and go and submit YouTube channels like Super Russ 9000 to be possible nominees for a variety of categories. You can look, obviously he is in the top tier, 25,000 subscribers. You can enter Super Russ if you're a fan of his content like we all are. You can enter Russ to win a variety of awards. And if anybody's got a blue wrench and can drop the link to CBC Awards like Brian is doing right there, .org, cbcawards.org. Yeah, you can enter your favorite channels. We're here to support Russ because we love Russ's channel, and obviously he's doing a great job. So champion him, nominate him.
I'm pretty sure Bottom Tier Collector nominated me last year, but I've never made the finalist list.
So let's nominate him. Let's get him into some finalists for some different categories for the content that he creates, the entertainment he provides, and obviously the joy.
I don't really know what category I would fit in because my channel is just all over the place, really.
But that's the fun of it. You're doing live streams, you're doing edited videos, you're doing gaming content, you're doing everything, man.
I think Old Wolf was wanting to pop in. Do you mind if I send him the link?
I can do it for you if you like.
All right.
I got you. You're running the show here, and I'll take care of Tony. I'm used to dealing with that.
I don't know if you want to share the spotlight with Tony or not.
I'm used to it. He came to my house and gave me a bunch of kisses, and I'm used to that guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that stream where we were giving each other comics.
Here one year. I would love to meet
Oh, really? All right, Tony, I'm getting the link. Give me a second. I'll give it to you on Instagram, my brother.
I got to meet Brian LCS at Heroes Con for a minute.
Oh, I would love it. Brian.
He up with a sticker pack and this coaster.
Brian is one of the nicest guys, and I've been lucky enough to chat with him over the last couple of years. And then he even invited me to be on the panel for the CBC Awards this year and help him continue to shape it into what it continues to be. And I just adore Brian.
Yeah, I need to go do the nominations. I haven't done that yet.
He just cares a ton about our community, and I love it. Ah, crap. Turn off the stream, buddy. Jesus, are you a rookie? Get this guy backstage. I don't care that you're listening to YouTube. You're on YouTube.
I was actually on my phone because I was outside on the back deck listening to you guys.
This guy.
And then now I'm here.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too.
What's up, Old Wolf?
I love you too, Russ. How you doing?
I got a ton of Old Wolf swag over here.
I know. I got a shitload. I got more stickers now. Look, I even got a few tattoos. I tried tattoos. You want a tattoo?
I didn't get any tattoos. Yeah.
Because
next time I buy something from you,
they came in after I sent the stuff to you.
Should I show off what I got?
Yeah, go ahead. I got I got a shitload of stickers, but nobody wants anything from me, so it's okay. Galito, how you doing?
Man, Tony, when are you going to make it down to Heroes Con, man? You should come next year.
Right?
If John goes, I'll go.
What is that?
John's
are we attached at the hip? Just because he wants a roommate.
I need a roommate.
I got these pins. I
You
got
got
old wolf
buttons.
pins.
You got like my buttons. You're not wearing my button. You should wear my button on your hat.
I put them on my. I've got one on my jacket.
Awesome.
It's got all my.
You notice I gave you multiple, so you could give your wife, your kids.
Is that what the? I thought I was
Yeah.
supposed to just like spread it across the community.
I gave you like four coasters, so each person could have a coaster. See,
I got the coasters right here. What are you talking about?
Coaster.
I got Carlito said he was going
magnets.
next year.
I could stick it to my microphone, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, stick it to your fridge at least.
I don't know. And then of course stickers, endless
Stickers.
old wolf stickers. Oh, we got Bravo in the chat. What is going on, my friend?
Yo, what's up, Bravo?
He is such a great supporter of veterans in our community. I got my Till Valhalla parachute cord bracelet that I wear as much as I can, although it's soaking wet from the beach today, so I took it off.
How was the beach? How was the weather there?
It was lovely. I subbed. I'm a teacher. I'm actually an administrator now, and the teacher who was running the ocean camp, his little girl got sick today, and I got the call from the office that she was sick, but he is stuck at the beach watching 20 kids at the beach. So I drove my car to the beach. I'm not dressed for the ocean. Drove it to the beach, gave him my car keys. Took over teaching for him so that he could drive my car back, switch into his car, and pick up his little girl. Then I had to walk the kids back to school and get my car. So I went to the beach without wearing any beach gear, but I got a day at the beach with kids today. So
Russ, do you realize this guy has a tree in his office?
I do.
A tree.
This guy. Yeah. John, you have to show everybody your office because it's so awesome.
A small group of people have seen it. Yeah.
Not to show the kids or anything, but he's got a tree. He actually have a living tree.
I do.
In his office. He's got a tree, a fireplace,
and sometimes cats.
Yeah, and cats in the trees.
Yeah.
This office is like totally awesome.
It's wild. Nobody would believe it if they didn't see it in person. Fire Guy Ryan and Tony, I think, are the only ones I brought to my work, but it's hilarious. It's such a strange place.
It's not a strange place. It's a cool place.
It's one of a kind, and I do adore it.
I think I'm going to move to California just so I can teach there.
I'm going to try to find a video to send to Russ on Instagram.
You gotta get like one of those Inspector Gadget Dr. Claw chairs for your office.
They just turn around.
It's gonna be a bomb there. No, he's got it's everything's like stained glass, and you can see the ceiling. The ceiling is glass above him.
Yeah,
and he's got a tree. Actually, got a tree growing in his office.
It's basically a greenhouse. Yeah, my office is inside of a greenhouse. If you can imagine such a thing.
The whole school is totally awesome.
I'm picturing like a poison ivy theme.
Yeah, I think I could teach kids. I could teach the kids like street smarts because I was in the projects. Nobody believes it though. But anyways, no, I think I could teach the kids. I actually taught my daughter how to kill somebody with a high heel with a stiletto.
That's nice.
I mean, useful, I suppose.
Yeah.
She'll tell you how to do it.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But might be a good idea to keep. No, I've been quarried.
You've been what?
You don't have quarried in California?
What does that mean?
Quarried is in Massachusetts. If you're going to be with kids, you have to be like they vet you.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what they call it in California.
It's called being quarried?
Quarry.
Quarry. How do you C-O? Okay. I was imagining like you're in a quarry.
No,
okay.
Quarried. Hey, you guys in California talk weird. It's quarried.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah. So I've been quarried, and
we do background checks through the California Highway Patrol, like the local sheriffs and stuff. You get fingerprinted and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I've not been fingerprinted.
Just in case you ever killed anybody.
That explains a lot.
Tony, I never thought I'd see you more beautiful. Yeah, I know. I even treated my mustache today. Because Yeah, because you don't want, when you have a mustache, you don't want it covering your top lip.
I'm the same way.
Right, because people want to see the top lip.
Let's not be. Let's really.
I'm not being
focus
weird.
this.
I'm telling you, look it up.
Not people. Your wife.
No, I'm telling you, people
No.
feel more comfortable with the person with a mustache. Thinks it's more attractive if they see the top lip.
I'm gonna say no. My wife does, and that's all that matters. Like everybody else can
That's
go.
true. That's true.
Can go
Becky
take a
is
hike.
awesome, and she's totally real.
That's so good. Okay, so Russ, you'll love this. Tony comes to visit. He's like, we want to meet your wife. We're excited. Like, your wife doesn't do the YouTube thing. She doesn't really care to be involved in any of that stuff. Fine. No worries. They arrive, and my wife gets like a horrible cold. So they come around, and they're like, oh, it's the first night. We're going to go out with Becky. And it's like, no, she doesn't feel good. And they're like, does your wife even exist? Is this real? Is she a real person? They come to the house, and she doesn't feel great, and she's laying in bed, and they're like, are you real? And she's like, I'm real. I feel
and like he would just disappear, go into a room, talk to Becky, and then come back out. She doesn't exist.
They're like, they didn't, even though she's shouting back, they're like, this is a scam, right?
Yeah,
this is like an illusion.
she's
You have
real.
kids, your wife passed away years ago, and you're just like putting on this shenanigan show.
And then I see her. I open the van door.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh my god!" And then he's a hugger. He can't keep hands to himself. It was just very funny that he had to go through this journey of like, is she real?
Yeah, I like to give hugs, give a kiss on a cheek, and grab a left cheek. I don't know.
That reminds me of a meme I saw.
I like that one.
Back. It was what was it? It was something like my girlfriend lives in another nation. My imagination.
There it is.
That's what I thought it was. All we saw was still pictures of him with the kids and the wife. It could have been stand up, right?
He thought it was a cutout that I
Photoshop
would hold up.
Something, because you never saw her.
Yeah,
I saw her.
But more than that, you also saw Pop Pop.
Try that for my channel.
I saw Pop Up. Pop Up. Pop Up is like my biggest fans when I do the sipping shows.
I'll just get me like a standee of Gal Gadot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you need.
Exactly what Becky was.
Yeah, you and Magic Lasso.
But like Pop Up, I saw Pop Up at one.
I guess.
My dad is a big Old Wolf fan. Huge Old Wolf fan.
Who knew?
I did.
I saw him at the soccer game. I gave him a hug, because that's what I do.
It is.
And it's like he loves my show because he can sit down, pour himself a drink, and he's
texted me many times since then saying like, is your friend coming back? When's Tony coming back?
I got to talk to Julie about it. She's got me scheduled so hard.
Yeah,
on that freaking calendar.
I'm trying to get us to the East Coast next summer somewhere, maybe for Terrificon or Heroes Con or something.
Do it, Terrificon. It'd be awesome.
That's my goal.
That's not my goal. It's not too far. It's Connecticut. That's like
and Justin's out that way, and So Pop is what we call my dad, and I'm actually going out with him tomorrow night for the late Father's Day. We're gonna go see the movie Airplane. They're running Airplane. Yeah, at the local theater, they're running a flashback screening, and my brothers and I are taking my dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and my sister's coming too.
The autopilot is on. You have to blow it up. That was fun.
Yep. Thank you, Bottom Tier. We had a good time making those live streams.
That was a good show.
There were two of them, Tony.
Yes, it was. The first one I really needed. I really needed an Uber to get home.
And my wife is home. She's helping the girls pack because they're going to volleyball.
I thought you already left.
Old Wolf is on the show. They're busy. They're packing for volleyball.
I thought you were left already.
They leave first thing tomorrow morning, like daybreak tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm here. I work all week, and I fly out Friday night to Phoenix, Arizona, where it's 110 degrees, and we're gonna watch kids play volleyball.
Man,
I hope.
I don't like the heat, man. I'm more of I prefer the winter.
Our hotel is like walking distance to the venue where they play the games, but I'm like, it's walking distance, but it's like 100 degrees outside while you're walking. That's like
a
death
bus
distance.
They got a shuttle, right?
I don't even know. We'll see what we can do. It's hot. It's hot. Yeah, Carlito's pushing for Heroes, and
He said he was coming next year.
No Good Comics is pushing for Terrificon. It's more about like, what can we do, right? Look how well John does that. You really think, yeah, Jackson? It's all an illusion. Tony's in on the secret now. She doesn't exist.
She doesn't exist. It's all mirrors, lights and mirrors.
I'm fine with that. It's an illusion.
You can take my humidity. Oh. Give me the dry. Yeah, dry heat is best because humidity up here. Up here, when it gets humid, you can just cut it with a knife. It's just so freaking bad.
It gets about 90, 95 degrees here, and it's just like I'm just under my fan back there. That's it. I ain't going outside.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, like when we do the daily walk, try to do it like 6 a.m. before it gets hot.
Yep.
Which sucks for me because I'm not a morning person. I'm usually falling asleep at 4 a.m. I have to get up at 6.
Jeez. Well, you get to take naps though, right?
Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like if I'm awake for a certain amount of hours, I just lose the sleepiness, and I've gone 48, 60 hours without sleep before.
Oof.
After a certain point, I just like lose the sleepiness, and I'm just awake.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't even hardly drink coffee anymore, so it's not the caffeine.
No, you just need to drink more. Get some alcohol.
Bottom tier collector says you can't leave your X-Men buddy hanging. I do need to see Justin in person at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So he does Terrificon.
He does Terrificon, and his dad does too.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he does Terrificon every year.
When I went, he wasn't there.
He doesn't like you.
That's true. I'm a quiet taste. I'm okay with that.
I remember back in 2020, I came this close to going to MegaCon. Because Matt, boy, who had 7, he offered like I could stay with him at the hotel, and then everything got shut down and it got canceled.
And I was gonna go that year too. Yeah, we were all gonna go. Yeah. The plane flights were getting so cheap. I was like, this is amazing. And then it was like shutting it down. I was like, no. Yeah. But then, hey, I got to go and shack up with this guy, this last year.
We canoodled.
We did.
Yes,
a lot of extra touching that was unnecessary.
It's all right. I'm a touchy guy.
Oh, my goodness.
That was awesome when that guy just called out we're just walking and some guy called us out. Remember?
Yes.
That was
he recognized us.
That was
I don't know. Where were we?
We were just walking, and he was in Otis Alley, right? And we were just walking around there, and he just yelled out, yelled us out, oh, Wolf, John's coming. I was like,
yeah.
That was effed. I never expected that. And
then at WonderCon this year, I got called the Storm Guy. And that's gonna stick with me forever.
You are the Storm Guy.
These 2 guys were like, "Hey, I know you from something," and I was like, "Oh, I do Instagram and YouTube," and they're like, "You're the Storm Guy, right?" And I was like, "Oh crap! I really pushed that button a little too hard, haven't I?"
What's up, Magic Lasso?
There it is. Magic Lasso says it too. It's the Storm Guy. Yeah, I'm the Storm Guy.
It was just John, and then Old Wolf hijacked the stream about 30 minutes ago. So,
well, you guys are having all that fun. I was just sitting on my back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Made by this gentleman right there.
No, you're always welcome on the channel, Old Wolf. Always.
Thank you.
No, let's not open that door.
I'm happy that the way that came out. I really am.
It's gorgeous.
Since Magic Lasso's here, I got to show a book I picked up at Heroes Con.
Let's do it.
I was going to make them watch my haul video, but that's like 25 minutes long. So this is for you, Lasso.
Poof. Oh, yes. I want that book. I want that book. What number is that?
I've got a copy of it, but it's in one of the boxes nearby. I got a slab of that from Man Cave.
Heroes Con.
Great
I almost got it last year,
What
And
issue is that?
I
What
asked it
issue
up
is
for
that?
some other books, and this year I saw it again, and I couldn't leave it. I had to get it.
What issue is that, Russ?
Issue 200.
I want that one. I'm gonna look up right now.
It's a beauty. Great lighting, great color work, and then of course the mod era Wonder Woman in bondage.
This was my very first issue of that era.
Yeah, it's a great
So
one.
I'm
I got that
definitely
from
gonna get more of these.
Mad Cave. Just sent that along as like, oh, I'm just gonna add this into your box here as a gift. I'm like, what the? Who throws that kind of book into the?
Oh man, I didn't know it was a two-parter.
Yeah, you got to get
Now I
$199.
gotta get $199.
Oh, let's see about 109. It might be cheaper.
I hope it's cheaper.
Oh, that's an awesome cover. Not 199.
Is it?
Really? Oh
Yeah.
man.
I don't know that I've seen it.
We'll
I
put it
don't
up
think
in.
I have either.
You can share your screen.
I can't. Hold on.
jerk.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got a lot of shit going here. Hold on. Hold on. No, that's not it. Present. Okay, hold
I'm
on.
definitely gonna have to hunt 199 now because there was several others from that.
Another bondage cover, $199. Holy cow!
Really?
Russ,
Mod era bondage Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Oh yes, with the axe guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an awesome
I have
cover.
seen that.
I didn't see that one at the con.
What good shot! Look at the shadow work, the inking
why
I'm
do I
gonna have
have
to
this
be on the
here?
lookout for that one now.
on her arms. Look at the inking work there.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, there was it.
that is a gorgeous cover.
I know.
I'm definitely gonna have to be on the lookout on that.
Does that mean I got to get that book too? Darn it!
Yeah.
Now all
That's
three of us are like, who's gonna win the best copy of 199 together?
Yeah. I know I got a great deal on that 200. I got it for 45, I think. Or
Nice.
48. But the price tag on it was $765, but I got it for 45.
Did Roger came in again and talked him down?
No, I got that one on my own. I was just looking through
Nice.
boxes, and I saw it and was like, I left it last year. I can't leave it this year.
I love it. She probably had bell bottoms, bottom tier collector, I would imagine. It's that era. She was looking very mod.
Yeah.
So that's the one. That's the time when she didn't have powers, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
In her white dress costume,
Right.
basically.
There's a lot of great covers from that era. That
And I'm sure Ryan would know how long that era lasted, how many issues.
yeah, I saw. I first saw those where Lasso and Silverhead Bronze Edge Babe did a show together, and that's where I first saw like all these classic covers, and I was like, I got to get some of those.
I mean, I know that it's an iconic sort of historically era of Wonder Woman, but I can't. I don't get into it. The story. I just get frustrated with it because it
Really?
just seems so unnecessarily like disappointing that they basically depowered Wonder Woman and turned her into like a damsel in distress for a few years.
But the covers, but just for the covers alone, the covers are awesome.
Sure.
I know Simple Simon got that book not too long ago.
Can you imagine if they did that to Superman though? Like we're going to take Superman's
Maybe
powers
they
away
should.
and make him a man in distress for a few years and have Lois Lane constantly have to rescue him.
Well, maybe they should. Maybe
Can you-
maybe that's the way they should go. He's more of a Clark
minute.
Kent than a Superman.
I would
You
just be
understand?
like, this is ridiculous.
I would
lasted.
rather see Wonder Woman tied up than Clark Kent.
Well, that's the thing. It's incredibly sexist, and I get it. Like it's
Yeah.
functional sexism. So he says it's 178 through 204.
Okay, so it only lasted till 204.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's the one she has the 60s outfit on there.
Yeah,
yeah.
a couple
I
of
wonder
years.
how hard it would be to like put that whole run together.
And bottom tier says
They're not
Wonder
cheap.
Woman is the bastion of female empowerment, and I agree. It's it is incredibly. What is the feminine version of emasculating? It's effeminizing.
Yeah.
She's robbed of her power.
Yeah, but
both figuratively and literally.
But was she actually a damsel in distress, or did
Constant.
they make her a normal woman who used her human abilities to be more than just a woman, just a normal woman?
I felt like she was always having to be rescued, but Ryan, I will always defer to his knowledge. always. He says there's a mod era omnibus.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Mind is blown right there.
Okay,
The fact
I'm
that there's an
looking.
omnibus.
I would probably like if it's pretty easy. I'll probably try to find like the single issues.
I'm curious what an omnibus that's probably out of print for mod era Wonder Woman would go for.
They said she was still kicking butt.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It celebrates the 60s. Hold on. Let me get this one. Oh, here you go. Hold on.
He's gonna share it again.
I think they made her more of a normal woman with abilities, right?
Like her intellect got her out of problems.
Yeah, you know, more like a secret agent. Maybe Amanda. What was it, like the Avengers, Amanda Peel type of thing?
Oh, we were talking about that earlier.
Oh, really?
The Avengers TV
earlier.
series. Yeah.
I was talking about the movie that Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman did.
Ugh.
No.
He's talking about the Diana Rigg television
Yes,
show.
that's what I grew up with.
And we were talking about Diana Rigg because she's a Bond woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she is. She married Bond.
Yes. On Her Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby, which I think is an underrated Bond film. So now we've come full circle to the beginning of this show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay,
They were talking
Russ, can you
I didn't know anything about that series. I didn't know it existed. And
Russ,
the movie came out
Russ,
in
can
the
you pick
90s.
up what I have in the backstage?
He's trying to
yeah.
share.
The movie that came out in the 90s, I thought it was like the comic book Avengers because I had never heard of like
No. That actually started before I think it started before the 60s. I think it was later in the late 50s.
$60.
And it wasn't the. I don't think it was actually Diana Riggs who started with the. Please, somebody check me. In Goldfinger, the woman who got painted gold.
Yeah.
Oh, what was her name?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think she was actually the partner of the guy in the Avengers at the beginning. I'm gonna look it up, but I think she was in the original Avengers. She was the partner to the guy with the derby.
Don't refresh that page. Be careful because I just bought that omnibus
Just now.
just now.
You
Oh,
son of a b.
Refresh it and it'll be sold because this son of a gun bought that book right now.
You penis.
That's a great price for an omnibus.
$60 for an omnibus.
Yeah.
I exactly bought him
Out of
here.
stock. It's just out of stock.
Oh, it's all gone out of stock. What happened?
Magic Lasso is probably punching the
I
air
love
right
you.
now.
You're a penis. You're a penis. I'm telling you right now.
That's why my wife likes me. Yeah, $60 for a mod era Wonder Woman omnibus. I just bought that, and I'll at some point be talking to that guy, Magic Lasso, about that book. Be ready. I mean, it might be 2 years down the road.
Yeah.
Yes,
You can't see me. Okay.
there it is. I just got Tony distracted and talking, and then I bought it.
Tony's going to show up at your house.
Done. He can borrow it and read it.
I can borrow and read it. I will not borrow and read it. Goddamn thing.
He said there's another one for $68.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay.
You can pay $10 extra.
Why not?
There it is, right there. Same
Look at
cover
that
and
one.
everything. No,
There's one for there's one for
out of stock. It says out of stock.
Yeah.
I bought that one.
Son of a bitch.
I'm curious about it, and I'm going to let Charlie read it too because I think she loves that. There it is, 67. You just passed it. Now you're going to the
Oh,
really
there's
expensive
65.
one.
Yeah, his one up for 59, but it's like $13 shipping.
Yeah. Mine's coming media mail, so who knows? It might be banged to crap by the time I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get mine. Guys.
It's an omnibus. How bad can it get hurt? It's going to
I'm
probably
gonna get
hurt
mine.
the
I'm
other
gonna get
mail
mine, guys,
in the
darn it.
mail.
I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine.
An omnibus traveling in media mail is going to injure the other pieces of mail more than it will injure anything else.
What is it? What is it? Half price trades?
Half-priced books.
Why am I telling somebody else is going to buy it?
It's got to be out of print. I can't imagine that it's on there. But I didn't even bother checking. I just bought it.
I know you did. Just to piss me off. I love you.
There it is.
Oh yeah, the shipping can get crazy sometimes.
Yeah, omnibus
Yeah,
shipping
cool.
is no joke.
I've seen like raw books on there for like
Yeah.
$5, and I look down at the shipping and it says $19.95. I'm like, for one raw book, you're gonna charge $20 to ship it.
Yeah. Well, shipping's like, well, if you go priority, you could probably squeeze that into a $11 box,
Yeah,
envelope or something.
So there you go. Now I got some mod era Wonder Woman coming to my house that I did not expect.
Nice.
I don't know that I have room for it. I don't know
God,
where
you
it's
must
going to
have,
go.
like,
No,
eBay, like,
yeah,
all the
seriously,
tabs, just
you're
all-
already like past climbing into your bedroom.
I
You
still
gotta
remember
find
when
something
you
else.
sniped me for them Green Lantern books, man.
The kids gonna be sleeping in the garage because you're gonna be taking over their room now.
Yes, Magic Lasso. I made that joke earlier. I do feel like I'm wearing a UPS outfit, but it's not. This is Till Valhalla, the veterans amazing organization that helps veterans in our country. Hat. It's not gray, or it's not brown at all. It's just stained. And this is a Lost T-shirt, the Black Rock pirate ship T-shirt. So, as much as I look like I work for UPS, I'm just a nerd.
What does the Black Rock have to do with the Lost?
It's the pirate ship stranded in the middle of the island on Lost. It's called the Black Rock. Several times the characters say, "Let's go out to the Black Rock," and you think it's an actual rock, but it's actually the name of the pirate ship.
How did you get to the middle of the island?
Did you not watch the damn show? God, this guy.
I went back and forth. I was like,
You'd have to watch the show to figure out how a pirate ship got to it's actually a slave trader ship, got to the center of the island. It wasn't shipwrecked on the shore. It was in the center of the island. It's where they always went to go get those unstable sticks of dynamite.
Yeah, somebody got blew up.
Yeah, Dr. Arzt,
Yep.
the high school science teacher who was trying to teach them about being careful with unstable sticks of dynamite, who blew himself
Yeah.
to smithereens. Yeah.
There you go. What a shitty teacher that
You
was.
got pieces of Arzt on you.
That was a great line.
So good.
Hurley was like the best.
A piece of skin, just like that right there.
Yeah.
Take that off. So I'm sorry if I look a little, I swear this hat is gray, but it's hard. It's been so worn in the sun. It's just a sweaty mess. It's my favorite hat. And I love the Till Valhalla project, and those veterans organizations are amazing. And I may end up getting another hat just because I love this one so much.
It's awesome.
Do it, Crystal. Go.
Oh, yeah, it's such a great show.
Do glitter. Crystal, I haven't seen her in such a long time.
She's right there.
I know, that's why I'm posting to her, because I haven't seen her for such a long time.
She doesn't like your channel.
I know, nobody does.
It's a train wreck. Oh.
It's unique. It's a taste that has to be
Acquired.
yes. Sorry, I took it away. I had to rebuild the
You had to reboot your brain.
printer, and I'm doing a test and it's making funny noises. So I keep looking over there. I'm sorry. Russ, your channel used to be so wholesome. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is what happens when he invites John's Comics with teens onto his channel.
What? Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to worry because I'm not monetized anyway, so they can't take anything away from me.
That's hilarious. Oh, goodness.
My super chat is PayPal in my description.
There it
That's
is.
Have you been selling any more T-shirts or anything like that, Russ?
Oh,
no, not
damn
not
it.
in a while.
Excuse me.
Not since I think you were the last one that bought one.
Really, you got to promote that stuff, man. That stuff's great.
I always forget to promote it in my videos when I do edited video. I just never think to mention it.
Okay, so I bought a Super Rust T-shirt. It's high quality. The him in the Superman kind of outfit is awesome. It's bright. It's awesome. Everybody should pick one up. And Russ is going to put it in the description.
It's the Red Bull store is in the description already, so it's down there.
Pick it up. There you go. See,
I laid the
there's one of
dang
my
sh-
shirts. Yeah.
I laid it out and I didn't even have time to put it on. I just dove right onto the stream.
you're welcome, John.
There it is. I've got my shirt, my Super Rust.
I've got some with my face, some with just the logo, some that just say Super Russ.
Well,
Okay,
now you're
so-
so skinny. The shirt
I
doesn't
know,
even
Russ.
represent
Who's
you
that-
anymore.
Who's that fat guy? Did you
Yeah,
pay that
for
fat
real.
guy? Did you pay that fat
Ain't
guy to
fair.
be on a shirt? Because that's not you.
I'm not working for UPS.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd be
working
bored.
for this guy, Super
Yeah.
Rust 9000.
It's fun. I don't know if you guys know who California Blend is.
I do. Yeah.
The Super Russ wording, the logo that's in the Superman font. California Blend made that for me.
Gabby
Sweet.
did that?
Yeah.
So this is a Gabby original right there. That Batman,
Oh yeah.
that Batcave piece is a Gabby original.
The Batgirl on my wall right there. California Blend.
Yes.
Stay Puff Comics AOK'd that to me at the con. She came down to Heroes Con and had a booth down there. Awesome person, awesome artist. It was so cool meeting her. Got some allergies going.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Well, if you're going to go into the dry heat, so it's going to help that.
Dry heat?
Glitter
Yeah,
dropped the
Arizona.
link for me.
Arizona.
Appreciate that, Glitter.
There are absolutely no allergies in Arizona.
Is that real?
It's not.
People
It's
don't
not
have
now.
allergies in Arizona?
Like
It's real
I'm like
now.
horrible with dust. Dust always gets me because I only dust my room like twice a year.
Oh, there you go.
Like, I'm like, no, I'm not monetized, Carlito. I decided not to do that. Even though I got like a lot of subs from the shorts, my normal videos, they just don't get enough views to bother to monetize. Plus, I felt like if I did monetize, I would be worried about like trying to make the best videos and stressed about views. And with YouTube, I just wanted to keep it fun and random and just post what I want when I want to, not be stressed.
But wait a
with,
minute,
like,
hold on. I could see. I mean, monetized. I mean, I know there's rules, but I don't think you.
Well, it's not so much. It's like you only get paid like for views, so you got to get like thousands upon thousands of views to make any real money. Like my videos would probably make like 50, 75 cents,
Yeah,
and I
but,
just don't feel like filling out tax forms for YouTube is worth a few pennies.
would you actually have to
So-
fill out a tax form for 75 cents though?
Yeah, you have to send in tax forms, I think, when you do that.
Exactly.
So I'm not like
Russ, I really think you should monetize just put it on the back shelf.
because
this like-
like before they had the monetization rules and you had to have like all these things, I tried that for a while when I first started, and the entire time, like 2 years that I was monetized, I made a grand total of 51 cents in 2 years.
But it doesn't matter
So
that.
it's just like
But
it's
this
not
like-
worth.
But Russ, if you're monetizing stuff and you put it in the back on the back shelf, and okay, now you only get 51 cents, whatever. But it's already set up, and you just do it. You do it, and you do it. Like me, I don't think I could be monetized because if I get to the point where I could, I don't think my channel would. I would probably get hit left and right because I don't give a crap,
Yeah.
right? So, but you keep it kind of clean, whatever. So I think you just put it in the back shelf, and then if something kicks up on your channel and you do make a buck or two, it's already set up.
Is this
You don't
like
think-
you trying to convince me that I need to have channel memberships?
Like
But set it up. What does it matter?
I've got like a Patreon.
I'm very
That's not the only thing
anti-channel
I've done.
memberships. Yeah.
Like I've had a Patreon for
You don't have to
a year
promote
and a half
it.
now, and nobody's on it. So
I'm not saying you have to promote it. Like, hey, I got memberships, whatever. I'm not saying that. But if you set it up,
Yeah.
and if your channel something happens and it kicks up,
Right.
and you do make more than 51 cents, it's already set up. You know what I'm saying? You don't swear, you don't drink, you don't do all that stuff.
You're fucking right. I don't do any of that shit.
If the channel ever starts like blowing up on normal videos and I start getting the views that I think would be worth it, I'd probably try it.
But if you did it now, and if you did it now and forget you did and forget it, you set it and forget it, then it's already set up. And then
that's never been important to me when it comes to YouTube, though.
Okay, to each his own. I mean, I'm not gonna push it, but I'm saying if you already have it set up and you set it, forget it, then it's done.
There's just so many things with YouTube that I don't like. Like I don't like YouTube. They take like 40%, I think.
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
And that's like, I've got the PayPal and I've got Patreon. If anybody wants to do that, they can, but I don't promote it.
Fair.
Because it's not like an important thing to me. Like YouTube for me, it's like this. It's hanging out with friends. It's meeting people. It's like, because before YouTube, I had 0 friends. I was like, most people know my story. I was like bullied and beaten up just about every day. And I just kind of grew up with after I got out of school, I just put this wall around me. I didn't trust people because I was done wrong so many times. And when I started this YouTube thing almost 7 years ago now, it just really, it opened me up. And I kind of started letting the walls down and meeting people and talking to like-minded people.
Same, man. Same.
And it always has just been like actually making friends for the first time in my life. And that's like always been the most important thing to me with YouTube. It's just because I got so lucky, like getting brought into these communities. Like when I started, I was just a Funko Pop channel, and I met like 4 really great people. And then I ran into Matt, the boy had 7, and he introduced me to the comic community at a time when I was just ready to give up on YouTube and quit. And I met all these guys, and it's just like real friends for the first time in my life. So that's always been the most important thing. And like last year and this year, getting to meet so many of the guys at Heroes Con in person, that was just like a life-changing experience for me. So to me, YouTube is just, I don't know, man. It was just like an outlet, and it became this thing where I met real people and formed genuine friendships. So trying to make money off YouTube's just never been something I cared about.
And I think to the point you made earlier about monetization, I think you said something along the lines of not wanting to feel obligated to create a certain level of content or a certain consistency of content. Like, it's very similar to my feeling about because I did monetize, but more just to make it so that when a video of mine gets popular, I'm fine having 50 cents come to me. Like I'm not expecting like super chats or anything like that. Mm-mm. The membership thing is difficult. Yeah, I dropped bottom tier collectors link.
Appreciate that, John.
The membership thing I struggle with because there's an element of like elitism to it, where it's like you get the content because you're an extra member. Now you're paying extra. You get something. I don't want any part of that.
Content behind the paywall.
Yeah, that bothers me a ton. Like I subscribe because I like what you're doing. I don't want to have to then pay just to get the video. Like that. That's weird to me. And I wouldn't do that. And I don't want the inverse of that, which is like that I have to then make something extra for the people that are now paying. I all of that irks me not because anybody else is doing it. Like if you do it and you're willing to put in that time and do that product, or if you're even better, if you're Rob's Fat Stacks and you're donating all that money to an incredible cause,
that's awesome.
that's different. For me
Yeah.
personally, I just don't want that element to my channel where I feel any obligation to do this stuff, because I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this
Yes.
for relaxation. I'm doing this because I want to talk about X-Men or fairy smut or whatever I want to do on my channel. Like, I don't want the obligation to create that content. And I certainly don't want to exclusivize that, where it's like, this is exclusive and you can't watch it because you haven't paid that extra $10 a month. That all just makes me feel like a salesman, and I don't want a job where I'm selling you my crappy content. Like, I don't want any of that.
Plus,
personally, for me.
Plus, to me, it sounds like so much work I don't want to do.
Correct. Yeah. I have a job. This is fun.
I provide.
I don't want this. I have a job. I
provide.
So for me personally, I don't want to shame anybody who's doing that, because I know a ton of friends that I've considered subscribing to who do this stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I struggle with it. And yes, hashtag fairy smut. I'm all for it. I don't want that for me. And so for my content, a ton of friends have pushed me, like, create memberships, even if it's just 99 cents, friends of yours. And I love that people consider that. I would rather just go live more often. And if somebody wants to donate a $5 super chat to a show I'm doing and call that 5 months of subscribing, like, fine. They are in the chat and they're subscribing and they're hanging out and they're donating because they're enjoying it. Awesome. I don't want to, like, force them to pay each month. That's weird to me, and I don't want that.
No.
If you want to, like, vaudeville style, throw coins at the stage when I'm doing Omni X-Men, go for it. Like, you're welcome.
You're a slut.
I am. I'm dancing on my pole, and if you want to throw money on the stage, I'm all for it.
Can I put a quarter in your cheek? Can I put a quarter in your cheek?
Do it. I'll put on my G-string just for you, buddy.
I'm going to do that next time.
But that, for me, that's different. That's people that are in the chat and they're having a good time and they're like, hey, thanks, guys, for doing this. And they're throwing a super chat. That feels different to me than the monthly subscription thing. And that's just me. That's just my feelings about that element.
I know. Part of me don't, I would really appreciate hitting the 1K. I really would, but part of me doesn't want to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, believe me, I look at my stats and I got 603 or whatever, and I'm like, oh God, yeah. But once you hit that plateau, it's just it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's
why? What do you? I love this question. This line of thinking.
Well,
why does it feel different?
I'm like 600 something. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and if you look at Brian's thing, 1 to whatever, I'm like,
you're in the second tier, right? 0 to 100 or
so nobody
to 100. Yeah.
So nobody actually expects anything from you. Okay. Nobody expects anything from you. I'm like, here. Once you get there, then you're like, oh, I'm 1K, and hey, I'm somebody. Yeah. Hey, I'm a big man on campus, maybe, and
it's real now.
Yeah, and I gotta do things.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, would I like to hit the plateau and hit 1K? Of course I would. Right. I'd be stupid not to say that. But to be an underachiever is pretty good.
It's fun because there's no expectations, right? If you screw up, people are like, but he's just 600 subscribers. Right. It's just for shits and giggles, right?
You know what I'm saying? If you make Dean's List, you have to make Dean's List every time now. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, there's a pressure, an expectation.
Yeah. I don't have that because
I love this whole line of thinking is amazing to me.
Exactly. Like I said,
I agree.
You always want to make Dean's List, but once you get there, you have to do it every time now because your parents are going to say, what the fuck? What happened to you?
I love this. It's so good. It's so true because then it's like and the funny thing is it's an arbitrary benchmark, right? 1,000 is just a number. Like in YouTube numbers, Look at Russ, man. He's 25,000 subscribers.
That's
like
crazy.
1,000 is nothing. It doesn't mean anything, right?
It's funny though. It's like
it's an arbitrary number.
When I first hit 1,000, I felt so nervous and anxious. I thought, am I going to have to start making better content now?
Exactly. It's pressure.
But it turns out
don't mess with what's working.
From the first 10 subscribers all the way up to now, my content has always stayed garbage level, and it always will. Like this streaming setup is the best quality you're ever going to see here. It's never going to be like studio lights and real professional cameras. It's like
his bed is made.
Yeah,
folks.
I made my bed.
That's why his was happy.
This is the most professional you will ever see on my channel. I made my bed for the stream.
He doesn't even. I don't think he sleeps on that. I think he sleeps on top of the bed. He doesn't go underneath the sheets on that one.
There's more boxes under the bed.
Yes.
No, I got some more boxes under my computer desk.
That's mine. My desk is the same way.
Yeah.
And Tony knows this. My desk is made of slab boxes.
Yeah.
I have a piece of wood, and then there's slab boxes on each side, like holding up my entire computer setup here. So that's mine is an illusion. It's all an illusion.
What's up, SDA? Yeah,
sorry to blow people's minds.
When the shorts first started taking off, and the channel started like actually growing.
Yeah,
it's like my goal was just to like stop at 9,000, so I could say that my channel is over 9,000.
How do you stop it? How would you stop at 9,000? Like
I didn't know that the short was going to keep going, and they just kept going. So I figured maybe you'll die out eventually, and it just kept going. So I never thought I would be 25K. That's like that blows my mind, but it's like.
Okay, Russ, you're 25K. You're 25K. You guys, I need your opinion.
Yeah.
And I brought this up in a chat with John and Rod and Perry. Should I take my sipping shows and turn it into an audio podcast?
That could work.
I have them all, right? But should I take like go through all the sipping shows I did in the past and put them as podcasts?
I'm scared of the longevity of some of those things. You're gonna make me regret joining you.
I know, huh? There's like people there like.
Before we went live, Russ is like, last time we did this, it was 3 hours long. I was like, we won't go near that.
No, of course not.
We're already 2.5. We're already on our way.
It's funny. It goes so quick, man.
Does it?
Like time just flies when you.
It's me.
I
do that in every show. Just makes it go quick.
But it's like John was saying, like the subs thing is just a number, really. It's like because my normal videos, the way I see it, my normal videos get anywhere from 50 to 100 subs if I'm 50 to 100 views if I'm lucky. So I see it as I have 50 to 100 subscribers. That's how I look at it. Because those are the people that actually want to see my goofy looking face and my weird content. My actual friends that put up with me enough to watch my videos.
And
that's how I see it. I see it as 50 to 100 subscribers.
And I've talked to you and I think Tony and a few other people about that there's a few big YouTubers that aren't even necessarily on the level of Russ here, who basically said, like, look, the goal is to, if you want to make a business out of this, and I don't think anybody on this panel is interested in that, but if you wanted to, the audience retention you should look for is 10% of your subscribers watching videos regularly.
Yes.
Meaning, if I have 1,000 subscribers, are 100 of them watching my videos regularly? If you have that consistently, you're doing a great job, which seems weird and sad that like only 10% of your subscribers watch your video and that's a success.
Yeah.
Is odd, but that is the percentage goal. And if you are trying to make this a success, you should consistently try to, and again, the YouTubers I respect and know who are trying to make businesses of this use that statistic as their goal, which is wherever you're at, 500 subscribers, are 50 of them watching your videos regularly, then you're having a good retention level. That 10% of your subscribers are consistently consuming your content. So for me, at about 2,600, I would need 260 views on average on my videos to be at that level. And I'm not. I will freely admit that routinely I'm in that like 5% range. Dude.
I love you, but you complain when you have no reason to complain.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, you do all the time.
Does it sound like complaining? I'm sorry if it sounds like complaining.
You do.
I'm just commenting that I'm fine with the fact that I'm at 5% and not 10, because I feel like the 5%, much like Russ is saying, that I'm getting are the people that I make this stuff for, are the people that I want to do this stuff with.
Yeah, I'm not making this about me because I'm not. But
yeah, you are.
Just because, okay, great. But I basically have one main show.
Yeah.
Okay. And I make it for the 7 people who show up. It's always right the same. Crucius shows up. I mean, it's mainly like I have a small amount of people who will show up, and I make it for them.
Sure.
And that's what I think. That's what we should all do. Is and I think when I'm spewing because I'm having a bag, but I think what we lose, a lot of people lose sight of, is you're making it for the people who show up. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes, you make your 1K, you make your 2K, and you make it more about the subscribers you want to get than the subscribers you have. Mm-hmm. And then that it becomes I have fun doing it, and you can, I don't script anything, and I half the time, 50% of the time, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but I do it for the people, the 7 people who show up. And I think people lose that. Is
it kind of like, I write Spider-Man, the comic, and I'm writing it for the fans who love Spider-Man. But if I shift and start making it for people who don't read Spider-Man to try to draw new Spider-Man fans in, I might alienate the people that have stuck with Spider-Man all along. Is there some of that?
No, I don't. Maybe I don't know. Okay. I really don't understand how people, when they have their channel and they get big in the mind. I don't understand how they think. I personally, you guys talked about why Rush. You talked about how you did it. Me, I did this because I saw like people like Comic Tom, whatever. I saw YouTube. I didn't have a group or anything I could talk to about collecting.
Right.
So, and then I saw people on YouTube who did, right? And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And my first ones were like everybody else. You have a stand and you don't show your face. You just show the book, right? Everybody did that.
Sure.
And that's what I did. And all of a sudden I was like, I know I'm ass ugly, but there's ugly people out there too. So I'm going to show my face. And hey, how you doing, right? And that's how it was. And it was just to share.
And before you know it, you're dancing on the live stream, saying your wife's going to disown you and just being a numbskull.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I hopped on, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect going to California to see you. I didn't expect to, Russ say, hey, Russ, I know you. Hey, let me on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect any of that. It was just sharing a book. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where I started. I don't understand how people can go from that to working to make it monetized and make it a business. And they seem it's more of covers and spec than it is enjoyment of, hey, I got a team up, Spider-Man, team up. 60. Hey, I went to California and I bought the same book twice. You know what I'm saying? that type
Which
of thing.
I had that book too. I have a copy of that too.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how it goes from this
So
is
are you
and then going to like I'm making this a business and
are you feeling
like
like
a
that
job or
there
something.
becomes a disconnect at
yes.
the point when a creator starts making content for an audience instead of themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's totally audience.
Sure. And I
It's-
get that. I understand that because once you start thinking about what they want and creating things for them and maximizing the algorithm and success for that, it can be less about the person and the you in the YouTube and more about the content and creating something for new viewers, right?
It's like you see these people buying mystery boxes, not because they want the book,
Right.
but more because they bought who can buy the most expensive mystery box and open it and to see what's in it to see if it actually made profit.
Tell me more about that. What's going on with
Screw
that?
you. I know what the whole story about that is. But
I don't understand. I want to hear more of this story.
Yeah. Go,
Jack B mystery box. Buy them now at the jackb.com.
And I'm not knocking that.
No, I'm just teasing.
I
Jack
know
B,
you are.
we love you. He was
Yes,
doing charity
no.
mystery
But
boxes.
it gets to the point where people buy.
Tell me more. I'm sorry. I'm listening to Tony. I'm listening.
Sorry, I'm a little parched.
While I'm just holding books up while you talk.
Yeah, I think the only mystery box I ever bought was a Bueller box one time.
I
Oh,
love
those are
Bueller
great
boxes.
bargains.
The older book, the old time Bueller boxes.
That's what I
love
like.
those.
Like if there's older books in the mystery, like I don't care about the ones that have like all modern keys and modern covers. Like I stopped collecting the new books like in 2018, 2019, and just started focusing on the older stuff. So if I see something like that, I might be willing to take a chance on it.
I had not bought a
older books
mystery
for the
box
run.
in years, and I knew Jack B well enough that I was like, and I knew the cause well enough that I was like, let's just do something stupid here, and it paid off. I think I got an amazing box out of the deal, but like I also felt like I did something good. So
no, that's cool. You're doing for the purpose. You're not doing for the show.
Yeah,
you know,
because I really just did. Los apparently upset.
Yeah, because he got screwed. His box was this big. Your box was this big. Size did matter.
Yeah, I agreed, Ryan. I got some amazing books in that box. I was definitely a winner for sure.
But what I'm just saying, some of those I'm buying mystery boxes for the show. Not because I'm thinking I'm going to get something.
Because I need to make a weekly unboxing video.
Yeah,
and
you
create
need
content
and
produce it to make a little money.
And you get because of your status, you're getting the money, and you're refunding. You're taking that money and buying it. So it's not costing you anything. I can see if it's costing you something, so there's kind of worth.
Yeah.
But if other people are paying for that box, there's no worth for it. You're just opening a box for content.
Yeah. Exactly. I need to see that video. Carlito, drop the link for the Chris the Comic Vets video. Was it his Jack B box? I didn't see him open it.
Sorry, Broke.
Broke says, I stepped away from making content because I felt like I was buying stuff just to show something. And that's fair.
Exactly.
I think
when I've heard a few people that stopped making because of that. They felt pressure.
And I will say I stepped away from making edited videos because I was feeling like it was a ton of work and it was not something I was enjoying as much. Versus the live shows were fun.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You just said it. There was no joy in it.
Sure.
There was no joy in it. That's the thing. This is joy, right? We're talking until I got all serious.
And then I'm shaming you because I got better books.
This is joy.
Yeah, I get it. That's
when
joy.
The joy's
that feels
done,
good.
It's like, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? There's no joy in it.
It's funny though. It's like I started as just a Funko channel.
Yeah.
And for the first 6 months, I would say I didn't show my face, and I didn't even have a tripod then. So I was like holding my phone, trying to unbox the stuff with one hand and hold my phone. A couple times I dropped my phone. I didn't know how to edit back then or make thumbnails. So none of my early videos have thumbnails or really edited much. And yeah, for the first 6 months, I would say I didn't. I was scared to death to get on camera. And I remember when I got invited to my first live stream.
Ooh, that's
Live
awesome.
streams at that time filled me with so much fear and anxiety. I figured I would just sit there the whole time like a deer in the headlights and not know what to say or do. So I got invited to a live stream, and I would always make an excuse not to do it because I was terrified. Like
Sure.
originally when Genome and Metarog and Grayman, I think, was originally a part of it. The Graders Note show. Genome invited
Yeah.
me to be a part of
Yeah.
that show when he first formed it, and I like the anxiety that I felt in my body. I just like, I can't do it.
Fair.
Honestly, God, in
It
August.
took me several years to get comfortable to do live streams, and now I love them.
Yeah, you should because you're awesome.
But again, I was scared to death the first time I was on Commodores, though.
You were awesome.
When John said go, I just sat there for like 10 seconds. I didn't know what to do. I just froze.
Hey Russ, just so you make you feel good, I'm invited in on Rod Fat Stacks.
Oh, yeah?
Only slabs in August, and I have anxiety over it. I do.
Yeah.
I have total anxiety. I actually. I mean, it's in August. Like weeks ago, I went through all my freaking slabs and piled them up in the corner because I was like,
Nervous.
yeah, I do. It still bothers me. I still don't know what to do, and I still don't. I still babble. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about half the time. He's saying you gotta you know what when you did this is a story. I have no stories to tell you about the freaking 20 slabs I got there.
Yeah,
I got a book. I slabbed with that thing.
I was
I
up
don't
at
have
3
stories.
a.m. scrolling eBay and I bought it. That's the
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly. I have no stories. I'm like,
because I've never submitted any books myself. So the only
oh, I have.
I got a box of slabs there, but I bought them
But
from
the
eBay.
thing is, I don't have story. Everybody seems to have a story about their books. I don't have stories about my books. I bought a book, or I worked.
Once upon a time, there was
Yeah.
a comic books.
Like
But
I've got
it's-
stories from my youth, but those books are just raw books that are all up on the wall.
Exactly. I don't have any stories. Everybody has stories. I have no stories. So I'm 2 months ahead, and I'm stressing. I pulled them out already, and now I'm going to go through all the books, see if there's a key, whatever. Just so I have something to talk about. It's stressful. It is stressful doing the live thing.
Especially like for people I don't know too well yet. Like I don't really know Rob Fatstacks. I met him at Heroes Con for like 30 seconds, I think, but I didn't really talk to him much because I don't really know too well
He
yet.
seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I've seen some of his shows, but I've never really talked to him.
There's so many good comments going on in this chat right now.
Yeah.
I like Ryan saying my first live stream was a John group setting. I don't think it's booked to John at all. And now he talks to me once a week on the phone and he's like, can I get this guy to shut the F up? I'm sick of this guy. Second, we got Glitter Duct Tape saying Sam is the best. Green Hearts. I feel like I know a certain generation of YouTuber who drops green hearts, and I know those are my people. Like that's a whole. Just talk, dude.
How do you
I
drop a
remember
green
finding
heart?
Sam's channel through Bueller back in the day.
Yeah.
You can just type in the words green heart, and it'll appear, and you can tap it
Yeah.
Where?
on your phone when you're watching YouTube shows.
So I can just you type green heart and it pops up.
Correct.
There's John's story.
You can also type heart, and then like a heart will appear, and if you hold on it, you'll get a variety of colors. It's a little more challenging, but you can figure it out.
You don't realize I'm an
You work in technology, Tony.
I know, and I'm totally freaking lost. I'm surprised
I'm just reminding you. This comment, yes, Jackson White Kirk. I heard about a Wonder Woman Omni on Russ's channel, so I went on eBay and bought it.
Screw you.
This guy. That's this guy right here.
Screw you, Jackson.
Gorilla Todd is in your chat, and I
Oh,
love this.
What's
I
up,
love
Gorilla
Todd.
Todd?
Todd, I hope your summer is going well. I know he's a teacher on summer vacay, and I've always loved his streams. He's doing, is it Friday, Todd, that you and Barbarian Kung Fu, are you guys doing an auction Friday, right? Just remind us, because I think there's a whole old school throwback YouTube auction happening. Yes, Green Hearts. For those that don't know, the Green Heart Sam's Tangled Web journey, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yes, the Jabroni Nation on top of that. Yeah. So yeah, Todd is doing an auction on Friday night. I am going to be on an airplane, so I will not be. You guys can outbid me and crush all of it. But I know Barbarian Kung Fu Chad, who I'm always trying to be in his auctions, and now Gorilla Todd. Some of the OG auction YouTube guys are rebanding Friday night for an awesome old school auction. Awesome. I don't know whose channel is hosting. So Todd, let us know if there's a link that Carlito can drop for us, because Carlito's the boss. He did it. See, I told you. I believed in you, buddy.
How do you make a lot of green hearts? You gotta keep trapping.
Well, the more often you do it, the more often it'll be one of your favorite emojis that just appears when you click on emojis.
Yeah, it shows up on
Jabroni Nation.
So right now, Tony, if you go in and just go and to leave a comment and click the emojis, a green heart will be one of the options, because you just dropped. It was your most recent drop, right? So if you go into the chat and instead of typing a comment, you click the little emoji button, you'll probably see a green heart as one of your most recent options.
I don't.
Scroll through your emojis. It should be there near the top.
It takes too much time.
You're just lazy.
Yes,
there it is. And so the more often you drop a green heart, the more it'll stay near the top of your most commonly used emojis. And then, so like for mine, I use the green heart so much that it's always in the top few. So if I go in and I hit the little emoji, it's the third emoji on my screen.
Jackson, stop freaking rubbing it in that I'm inept.
So I hit a bunch of green hearts and I drop them, and it'll continue to move up my rank of most commonly used emojis. Green heart has been in my face for 6 years. Carlito Classico, my brother. I love that comment. It's
Jackson,
just always
rubbing it in that I'm inept.
Yes, I bought one of those too, Ryan, and I think I got
Ryan, I hate you. I hate you.
I think I got the third level prize, the big grand prizes. I got the third level one, which was the second Silver Age appearance of Captain America. It's in a the cover has, it's a Fantastic Four book with Thing versus Hulk on the cover. It's like the second battle of Thing versus Hulk as well. I won that prize and then I sold it because I didn't need the book, but and I still have the X Factor book I won as well.
Will you guys stop rubbing it in that I'm like I'm a loser? Honest to God, look at this freaking thing.
Nobody needs to rub that in. It's real. It's just a fact. Look at all those.
Don't worry, I'll get to a point where I can get on.
I love it. Green hearts all day. Oh, my omnibus is shipped.
Already?
Just kidding. I got an eBay notification, but it wasn't that.
Screw you.
Oh, I love all these green
I'll
hearts.
gladly take that as an A-OK if anybody has it. So.
Nope, it's going on my shelf until I talk about it with Ryan. I just have to wait. You can watch the stream.
Yeah, I can.
Ryan says your omnibus will be here before the stream ends.
You do Amazon one-day delivery.
That's hilarious. That's so good. For those that don't know the story, I guess I can quickly say it. Do an unboxing while on the show. The box arrives, and I'll open it while we're on the show.
There you go, Ryan. Right there, baby.
It started because Sam kept saying the word "what" during his show, and every time he said "what," I would drop a green heart. I was just like teasing him, and then other people started dropping the green hearts too. So every time Sam would say "what," he's like, "What are people dropping green hearts for?" Everybody would drop a green heart. What is the green hearts? Everybody would drop a green heart.
Yeah.
Like, because he was just saying "what" so much, and every time he said "what," he knew what he was doing. He was funny enough to know that he was in on the joke, and he would try to say "what." He's like, "What?" And then like everybody would drop 3 green hearts.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
That's awesome.
One of my big regrets is never being able to meet him in person.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there you go, DJ. That's what it means. It started as a little joke in one of his live streams that he kept saying what, and I said every time you say what, I'm gonna drop a green heart, and then we would drop them all, and then every show that he did from then on, he would say what, we would drop the green hearts, and then it just sort of represented Sam. We would just sort of send a green heart to represent Sam. Just something different to do.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then it became, Sonata. Every time in the Bueller show, like we would drop green hearts. And yeah.
That was such a fun show to watch.
Yeah,
those two guys together. Yeah, for sure. There you go, Superman. Now you're in.
Superman got freaking 5 hots. Come on, give me a break here.
Just keep dropping them. It'll join your like most common things again. So I'll go in. Now it's second on my list because I dropped so many last time. I'll drop a bunch and we'll see if it moves up my list.
Okay, let me get rid of the friggin' voice here. Yeah, but I don't even see my green hots here. I gotta see a bunch of other crap.
There you go.
Stop it. Stop at the green hearts.
Just going to keep doing it. We're just messing. Now it's just everybody's doing it.
You're just screwing with me now.
Oh, what's up, Shop?
Every time Tony says his wife is going to disown him, I'm going to do the $ or a broken heart. Oh, my God. That's so good, Carlino. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Cleo, I used to love you, you son of a butt.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Magic lasso. Oh my God. He's going to cover the screen with hearts. Look at that.
Okay. I don't see where I can get multiple hearts on this thing.
When you usually hit your emoji button.
I don't have an emoji. I have a little smile thing here.
Yes, when you hit it.
There's no freaking green heart here.
But it should open a whole set of emojis.
It says on the Pride, YouTube, and that's it.
Usually mine, on the bottom left, there's a bunch of emoji options, and the farthest left is a little clock.
No, I don't have a clock.
That represents the most commonly used emojis. Sam's Tangled Web, there he is. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, Glitter dropped the link to his channel.
Much appreciated. He's still dropping green. Look, he only could do one green heart. Are you on an iPhone or are you on a Android or
iPhone?
Yeah, it should be right there. Because when I'm in YouTube, that's the first. When I click on chat, there's a little smiley face. I click the smiley face. I don't know.
Yeah, all the way down on my lower left corner. At the lower left corner, right? There's a little
click
smiley
it.
face.
You'll get a bunch of emojis. Show me that. Show me that. Hold it up.
Okay, hold on.
Like this. Click the smiley face in the corner.
Oh, that's the other one. Right there.
Click the smiley face in the corner and then show me.
Yeah.
I'm walking the guy through it. He's going to get there, folks. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Oh, no, I'm not watching. So now I got a whole bunch of different other things.
I didn't ask you to show me the other things. Just show me what it looks like when you hit the smiley face. There. On this side, do you see that there's a little clock right here in black and white in the corner?
I don't see a clock. Oh, yeah, I do see a clock.
Hit the clock. And the green heart will be somewhere on there. I can see it. It's in the corner. You see the green heart? It's right there.
Have you noticed that I've been putting a lot of green hearts up?
Jesus. He can be taught.
Yes.
So now you can see that your most commonly used emoji is the green. Look at him. Look at him. Look at all those hearts. Look at him. I'm so proud of this guy.
I know, huh?
Bottom tier corrector says, I want to thank this chat for helping me avoid making an out-of-budget purchase on some TikTok omnibus. John got me looking around eBay, but I forgot to bid before time.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, this show is amazing. Oh.
Russ,
So there you go.
Aren't you happy I hopped
So
on?
you see the little clock. It gives you your most commonly used emojis. My guess is there's probably an eggplant in there somewhere. What do you, yeah, and there it is. Look, he even dropped the eggplant right when I said it. Oh, folks, do I know Tony or do I know Tony?
No,
If it's not sentimental, it's a penis. That's all we got. That's the only two pieces we have. Those are the only two things. Wow. So there you go. The more you use the emojis, the more they'll change on the list, and the more you'll find the ones you love. DJ says, wow, he knew him. I know this guy. Not many men I could say I've kissed in my life, and there he is.
There you go, baby.
Ooh, getting emotional.
People are dying for my kisses.
Ryan, I'm not explaining the eggplant emoji to you on Super Russ's channel.
is it after midnight?
Okay,
yet?
Ryan, you take the eggplant and then you take the peach and you put them together.
And that's how babies are made.
So
Yep.
hold on.
That's how green hearts are made.
All right, let's see if we can do something here.
I don't think we're ready for this.
I have to go through all these emojis. This is not right. Oh, it didn't come up. Oh, never mind.
I mean, I see the little heart. You did one of these.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah.
I thought that was a gape. I thought took that as a gaping hole.
It's not. That's even worse. You just really perverted that heart. It's just a heart, dude. It's just.
Oh, that's just a heart?
It's two hands making a heart.
Oh, that's okay.
I was just going to stop by for a little bit, and yet here I am.
You just can't look away from the horror.
I hope people have learned a little something, whether about emojis, about hearts, or about pervert.
Jackson,
Not having me on a show.
A donut. Jackson Roy Kirk gave you the donut. There you
Oh,
go.
it's
That's
a
another
donut.
one.
There's a donut?
Was it glazed or chocolate covered?
Oh, it has to be glazed.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I found a waffle. Where's the donut?
Just type the word donut. It should appear.
Oh, I can do that?
Yes. When you type the word, an emoji will often appear that might correlate.
Oh, there is.
is that true?
It is true.
Look.
If an emoji exists, they'll often share the option. And then, Tony, if you go back to your little emoji clock, it'll now be probably one of the more recent options.
No, it isn't, but it's okay. Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
It's like I know this stuff.
This is so awesome. I never realized this.
Emojis for boomers. Welcome.
Hey, you realize I work in a hospital where I hold people's lives in my hands.
Oh, God. Now you're really worrying me.
I mean, no shit. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all got me crying over here. It looks like my face is red like a ketchup bottle.
I'm trying to find the square. Oh,
Ryan asks if you own any omnibuses, Russ. I don't think you've
I
traveled
had
that road
one.
yet.
I had the Guardians of the Galaxy omnibus that I bought at Ollie's for like $20. But I ended up taking that to Heroes Con with me, and I gifted that to Roger Metarog.
that's
So
cool.
as of now, I don't have any.
Okay.
I want to pick up the Justice League America, the one that you picked up.
I
They have
snagged
it
that
on-
off of eBay because I think it's out of print.
Yeah, they have it at my LCS.
Nice.
Save some money to pick it up.
That's fair, Superman. That's fair. I mean, actually, that seems under great.
Yeah.
I guess. Whatever.
Possibly.
Yeah, I can make it worse.
I know you can. I have full faith in that.
I'm trying to hold myself back because it's Russ's channel. I mean,
At some point, I need to get dinner here.
that's here's a good. Here's a
What time is it for you, John?
It is 8:00.
Okay.
Nearly 8:00.
John, if I go
That's
live,
almost 11 here.
how do I contact Pop Pop to tell them I'm going live on doing sipping?
I mean, I'm not going to give you his cell phone number if that's what
No,
you're asking.
no. I'm not asking.
Everybody from the chat would be calling John's dad.
I think I taught him how to click the notification bell.
Right. Okay.
So
Cool.
he might have the notifications on for your channel.
Oh, then I feel honored.
He seems to be a fan.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He actually told me he's a fan.
Yeah.
Even after I gave him a hug and a kiss. I didn't grab his ass because I wanted to show.
I appreciate you drawing a line somewhere.
Yeah.
He's always on the crown. He's almost always on the crown.
Yeah. It's just dry.
My dad, we always gauge where he is at by if he's entered Crown Royal Ralphie stage. Usually he'll have his martini or his beer, and then at the end of the night he segues into Crown Royal, and that's when you get Crown Royal Ralphie.
Crown Royal is a great sipping whiskey.
He does enjoy it.
Yeah,
he does enjoy it.
Fun.
Yes, Jackson Roy Kirk. Yes, this is true. There are certain comic nerds pitting the original Silver Age Justice League of America against the Silver Age Avengers on some YouTube channels. We were most recently over on Magic Lasso's channel, and Justice League of America 1 beat out Avengers issue 1 as the favorite Silver Age issue 1.
I agree. I totally agree.
Soon enough, we'll be back on my channel to debate Justice League of America issue 2 versus Avengers issue 2 and see what we think.
I'm gonna have to go watch the replay of that. I missed that.
I think you're gonna find the same answer.
You think so?
Yeah.
So where is it? Where are we at?
Don't show me the omnibus. I don't want to see the friggin' omnibus.
I won't. How about that?
Are you gonna pop that open and read it?
No, that's not gonna happen. Superman says JLA should always win. Yes. It's yellow versus pink.
Okay. So I'm gonna sell it to Seeking. I don't know if I'm jumping.
So we will be debating that on my channel, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks away. I've still got to schedule that with Ryan, but you can watch the live stream we had on Ryan's channel and subscribe to Magic Lasso's YouTube channel.
Wait, well, hold on.
I think he's somewhere around 750 subscribers.
Who?
Magic Lasso.
Okay, we're not talking about Ryan. Okay, we're talking about Seeking Superman. He's only got 17 subscribers.
Okay, drop his link.
Okay, hold on. I will.
There you go.
Don't push me like that. Okay. Hold on.
It does take a few extra steps.
It does.
No eggplants, please.
I'm way into this right here.
No green hearts or eggplants. 781. Ryan's getting close to 800 subscribers.
Oh, then we need to get him up to 800.
Yeah, 19 away.
Hey, Seeking Superman, you don't have any content? I just put you out there. Come on, you can do some content. Dude,
my book Dragon Wife loves all the ACOTAR. DJ, I'll tell you, my wife is not a big fantasy reader. She prefers nonfiction, so she's never read, but I'm tempted. And this is how nerdy my wife and I are. One of the first things we did together was I read her out loud. I read her the entire Lord of the Rings. And then since then we've done Harry Potter. We've done a bunch of the Sword of Truth. So I will routinely read stuff to her. It's been a while since we've had kids. We probably haven't read as much.
John, if you if you read me the whole Lord of the Rings, I would marry you too to shut you up.
Oh, I love it. Oh. So, I mean, maybe I dive into the Court of Thorns and Roses, or ACOTAR, as we like to say, at some point and read that aloud to her and see how she enjoys the journey through that.
Yeah,
universe.
baby. Yeah, some fantasy porn.
My fairy smut.
Are you going to play a Casio music in the background? Boom, chaka, boom, boom.
I'm down. Yep, I'm in. Lasso. It looks like Carlito bid on a Wonder Woman bug.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
Magic
Seeking
Lasso
Superman.
got a Seeking Superman A-OK today.
That's awesome.
Wait a minute, he's doing AOKs, but he's not putting any contact. You got to put contact on. I don't care what it is. Just put some contact out there because you have to cross that threshold into the YouTube world because that's the greatest thing you're gonna ever do. Is cross that threshold, do some content, do it. Done. Get it done.
Thank you, bottom tier collector. Yeah, I used to read aloud on my channel, and because of the popularity of the books I was reading, I did get hit with a content strike.
Yes,
I had to watch out for that.
Yes, you did.
So I had to shut it down, but I did enjoy it a ton, and I got to be careful what I read now on my YouTube channel. What apparently, like they say, what you can do in the quiet of your bedroom can't necessarily do on YouTube.
If you read it, if you did a Lego thing while you were reading it, does that still count?
Yes, because the reading material would be presented, right? The words that I'm reading would be the problem.
If you change the words once in a while, would that count?
Just rewrite the whole series.
Rewrite
Right.
the whole YouTube.
Just change the characters' names and
Interesting query.
Yeah.
I don't think that would actually solve the problem, but I do like where your mind's going with this.
If you and instead of calling him Ron, could you say Ronnie or Ralph? With that Hermione, you could have called her
Barry Potter.
Harriet. I don't know, Harriet. Barry Potter. Yeah.
Yes, I'm reading Barry Peter.
But Larry Potter. Yeah. Could you get around that?
We were back to Leisure Suit Larry now. Is that where we've come full circle?
The lounge lizard. The lounge. I used to work at Radio Shack.
Oh yeah.
And we had the Tandies. They made a version of that and with Oregon Trail for the Tandy.
Yeah.
And we used to sell that. We used to play it in the shop with the floppies. And John had a friend who had a hard floppy. We heard that today. How hard was his floppy?
Oh yeah, good times.
See, I remember these things.
All right, we're at 3 hours and 1 minute. I'm gonna need to eat dinner here.
All right, we can call the streams here.
I mean, Tony could go all night. Of course, man. I'm sorry I didn't wear the shirt from the jump.
That's cool, man.
I love hanging out with you, brother.
It's always a fun time.
Is this going to be a weekly thing?
He's been trying to do these on Mondays on the regular. I forced him to Tuesdays because of my mother-in-law, but we're still here. I appreciate the adjustment.
But I still, honestly, Russ and John, is this going to be a common thing?
Oh no, that's change guests usually every week.
But this works so well.
Yeah.
No,
this is the 10th episode I've done, but the first one in 7 months.
But
I was on 2 of them.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know that.
So John was on episode 8 and episode 10.
The 2 3-hour episodes.
Yeah.
This was fun.
We did an episode and we went over 3 hours, I think.
Ooh.
And JoJo from Flicks and Comics did an early episode, and we talked. I think almost 4 hours or a little over. Yeah,
that was a beast. I remember being in the chat for that.
She was awesome to hang out with in the chat.
I miss Radio Shack too, but the chat wants this to be a normal thing about you guys together.
Well, it's going to be a normal show. It's just going to be different guests every week.
And no Tony.
No, nobody wants me. I know.
You can pop in, man. If I see you pop up in the chat, I'll drop the link in there, and you can pop in. And
so I'm going to be the second thought. That
there it is.
Yeah, I'm going to be the second thought. If I can't be the main person, I'll be the second thought. I'm going to be the Ed McMahon to your Johnny Concept.
There it is.
Everybody needs a co-host, man. I don't have a drink, but I have an empty water bottle. I can
No,
toast
as
you
long
with.
as you sip, it doesn't matter what you sip, as long as you sip. I always said that. Yes, leave old wolf out. Let's.
That was a fun time. I
Crystal, I love
appreciate
you.
it.
Crystal, I love you.
All right, I guess I will end it here and sign off with keep it 9,000.